dropped my mic in the little Smokies. Hold on.
Oops. Yeah, hold on. This is the Date Night Dice Podcast, a podcast mostly about board games.
Probably not.
Hello and welcome to episode number 36 of the Date Night Dice Podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Em.
And I'm Ken.
Yeah, there we go.
I accidentally entered full screen at the exact moment you both looked at me. And so it zoomed as I
Perfect.
F4? F3?
We nailed it.
Yeah, perfect.
I am so excited for tonight's episode. I feel like we have so much stuff to talk about.
Perhaps.
The new, maybe the new 3-week time frame between normal podcasts. It's just enough to collect way too much stuff to talk about. And yeah, maybe we do have too much, but I feel like a lot of cool stuff has happened in the last few weeks, or we've done a lot of cool things, or enjoyed a lot of cool content, so to say.
Cool.
This is all about
really
cool. If you remember, well, when I was trying to talk about, what in the world was I talking about last time? Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. And I was like, yeah, that's cool.
It is cool. I watched some, got canceled. So that's what you get for suggesting it.
I shouldn't have said anything. Really?
Yeah.
It got canceled?
I guess.
I was having a good time watching that.
But it's nowadays when it gets canceled, they just shop it around until somebody else buys it, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody can do it cheaper.
There were shows on NBC that got canceled, then Netflix picked it up, and then it
Then
starts
it gets
back
big.
up. Yeah. So maybe.
But
But this was on Netflix.
Right, if you
Where's
can't
it gonna
survive-
go?
So who's gonna take it
Yeah.
from here?
Hmm.
We're at the bottom of the barrel.
It's
maybe Amazon,
Redbox, is that a thing?
Apple.
Is Redbox not Netflix?
Is it
Or
the
it's
same
just
thing?
The
I think
ugly
it's a
stepbrother
different-
of Netflix?
Right? I think it's another, you can rent movies from it, which
I never got the
don't
impression
know.
it was associated with Netflix.
But it's literally
Red.
the same business model and almost the same logo and the red box.
Yeah.
Also red.
it's also
Right.
Imagine this. There was a brief period where Netflix was a box next to Walgreens that you would get DVDs out of.
Man, I remember doing that
I don't remember that. It came and went before I ever subscribed to
before you got to
it.
it.
Yeah.
All right, first order of business. Two first orders of business. Heads up to anybody who's listening to this. We, this weekend, are going to live stream Game of the Year with the Board Vengers. What's the Board Vengers? Well, you'll have to kind of watch and find out. But it's essentially a collection of a couple of different Instagram accounts and people we've met online. We've kind of brought together. We've done a few movies before, or videos before in the past.
I was like, really? What?
Over the past year, anyway,
did
because
some
we started.
stuff.
I think our first one was Game of the Year 2020, right?
Wow.
Maybe?
Maybe.
I'm
It
not
was
sure.
at one point we did one of
We
those.
did it at some point. I don't remember if it was our first or what.
So,
yeah.
if you're listening to the audio of this, then we just did it this last weekend. So go on YouTube, look for that, check it out, and find it.
Board Avengers?
The Board Vengers
All right.
have
I'm
assembled.
going to write it down here.
Another thing people were asking, as people do, myself included, when is the Powerlifting Invitational?
Who asked besides you? Nobody. Was it me?
Was it Ken
was me and
asking?
Ken.
Like, people
We
have
both
called
wanted
me
to
the
know.
greatest archer in the world. Am I people? I'm people. Right?
Right, exactly.
When is it,
So-
though? Because I don't remember.
It is the first Saturday in February.
Which
February
is
5th.
February 5th. Let
Saturday,
me pencil it
February
in.
5th.
All right.
Now, how does it work for anybody who's not me and Ken? I have no idea. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no plan. If you want to
no
participate,
plan.
we'll probably stream the competition, I think.
Can we stream it without audio? But so
we
that
could.
we
We
can-
could definitely mute the
so
audio.
the actual people in it can do the whole music thing and the
Yeah.
We could
realize
also just
maybe that
stream it
defeats the
with
purpose.
audio. Do you get shut down right away? I don't know.
I would think so, but
Darn. Maybe
Yeah, I think you'll just have to mute it.
maybe we record it and put it up later with different audio. I don't know. With like
we'll have to
rights-free
see.
music or something.
Or maybe we all wear headphones this year, or I
No,
don't
that's
know.
no fun.
It's
You gotta
not fun.
crank it.
It's
I
not
gotta
fun.
feel the beat in my chest. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know. And if you're a listener or a Date Night Dice Instagram watcher or whatever, and you're like, oh man, I would love to be. This sounds like a fun thing to work towards. I want to be a part of it. I get a hold of us on Instagram, like DM the Date Night Dice account, or send us an email at benmdatenightdice@gmail.com, and we'll figure something out. If you want to record yourself doing the lifts, or just submit like, hey, I did it the same day as you guys.
Yeah.
Here was my numbers.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, if you do
I'll
a
put it
video and-
together. I'll do the editing. I'll save Ben and M the work.
yeah, so like if you want to send video files, or like, hey, I uploaded mine to YouTube, it's here or whatever, and we can just kind of like mash them all together. It'd be so fun to be like, hey,
Yeah.
here's all these people. We're all, at different numbers, doing this at different ability levels, but we all did it together, and it was something to work towards. It was fun to like get in shape for. I just love having these kind of like micro goals. Maybe micro's too small of a word, but like these
What's
sort of
between
like,
micro and macro?
yeah, it's not like we're running a
Nothing.
marathon
No
here,
prefix.
but it's like
Just goals.
Yeah, just a goal.
something to focus on. It is. I think it's just goal.
It's just a goal.
But yeah, we plan on actually executing the Invitational on February 5th. So that gives me and Ken a date we have to work towards. Will you be ready? Are you going to be ready? That's only what.
I waited until the 11th hour to finally start training for it, like hard. And so far, it's been great. That being said, I've got about 8 weeks to go here, right? And that's usually when you're on the edge of tapping out. Not tapping. Then it's getting tiring. It's sort of
if you
it
go
adds
hard
up.
for 8 weeks.
It adds up after 2 months of that. But then again, my wife has been training with me for 3 or 4 weeks now.
Woo woo.
She hit a deadlift PR today.
Dang.
I'm not going to say any numbers. That's her secret garden to share.
Is she gonna do it too?
I'm trying to talk her into it. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe she'll at least just like help you out there. She'll
We'll
hang
see.
out with you while you do it.
Just spot me until I drop the bar and we both
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Live stream
Right.
instead.
Right. Then they'll make it into a movie 15 years from now, like a Saw thing about Ben who made people work out on a live stream till they die. There it is.
Watch
right.
them in their garages.
Just wrote a script for you, Mr. Hollywood. Go
Was she
do
like
it.
pumped? Was she like, that's a PR, or were you like, hey, that's a PR? Or was
She
she like,
tried to pretend it was no big deal. She was pretty
get out of my
excited
face
about
with
it.
that. Every PR count matters. I
Well-
need some sort of like T-shirt.
And I was excited because you could see that it. What did she say? She said "ow" afterwards, and of course, the first question is, well, is that "ow" from pain? Because that's a problem, or is it "ow" from that was hard work? And she said that was hard work. And I said, yes, excellent. We're doing
yeah.
it. This is it. So now we have to do bench and squat with her to get numbers now,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
that in 2 months we can see where we're at. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, with somebody like that who's like really just a beginner, 2 months from now, she's still on the linear
Oh,
path.
exponential.
You could just go for a year and go
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
right. I mean,
Well, not exponential. It's more. What's the opposite? What's that curve?
I don't know.
What do this?
Yeah, it does. Nobody can see what we're doing, but we're
Yeah.
You
doing
want to
this.
draw on the chalkboard quick?
Yeah,
We
let me-
Whatever
get
the
some.
one
Put
that
a
it
graph
shoots
up.
up early and then plateaus. Whatever that is. Is that
Asymptotic,
you made that
right?
up.
Is that what
Isn't
it's
it
called?
asymptotic as
That's
it
like a
approaches a
TikTok
value, but it never
username.
quite gets there? Isn't that what that is?
Asymptotic? No,
He's
that's not
actually
it.
looking it up.
Well, no, you're right, but the graphs are wrong.
But you're wrong.
Asymptotic. You're correct. It never touches, but that's not what I'm looking for. Anyway.
All right. My bad. I don't know. Emily's next. Get that knee healed up. You're gonna be putting up some big numbers.
Just
Need to
ibuprofen
walk
until
first.
you can.
So
Ben.
just start now. That's the best way to heal it. You know, the
Opposite of
best way to
exponential.
get flexibility again is to just
Logarithmic, doy.
put it through weight.
Just bang it around.
I'm gonna just first do physical therapy. How about that? How about when I can walk upstairs normal without like grinding my teeth? We can,
Oof. That sucks.
when I can just bend. I just don't have that muscle at all. Like it's gone.
Dang.
So
Well, Ken, we got a bunch of rain earlier this week, or last week, or
makes
last
sense.
weekend. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that was not rain for you.
yeah,
No, we got 15 inches of snow in 12 hours. That's a real
Wow.
so
number.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Went from nothing. I snowblowed twice because it started at like 1 p.m. and we're talking about more than an inch per hour.
That's crazy.
So I snowblowed at like 5 and then maybe 8 or 9 and then woke up and snowblowed again. And then it was 60 yesterday. So it's all gone.
Yeah. It's
What?
All
that's
gone.
so insane.
It's all gone?
And it's snowing again today.
Wow,
Well,
that's bizarre.
yeah, we had 60 today, and then it's supposed to be in the 30s for the rest of
Yeah.
the week.
I think
so
it's
we'll see.
already in the 30s.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like warm
It dropped
midday.
quick.
By the time the kids were getting out of school, it was like winter temperatures again. I don't know. It
Mhm.
was
It
like
was very weird.
somebody breathed a hot breath on us,
Well, there
and
was
then it passed.
there were a bunch of tornadoes down in Kentucky,
Kentucky,
I think.
I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think here in Minneapolis, I think we're kind of on the outer edge of that. So something you guys probably
Man.
too. Maybe you're a little
Well, with the
protected
lakes,
by water.
Ah,
yeah,
we're
with
too
the
far
lakes
north.
around us, we don't ever have that issue. But it was super windy, like
Yeah.
yeah. trees going down and
Yeah.
this and that. But
But that was it. We had a Nerf battle that day for the boys' 7th birthday. 15 inches
wow,
of
that's
snow.
crazy.
Now, was this the first time the birthday Nerf battle was with friends from school?
Yes.
Yeah,
How was
Yes.
that?
It was great. It was loud,
nice.
as you'd
Yeah.
expect, right? It was 14 7-year-olds, boys.
Oof, that's a lot.
14.
And our house is it's got that tight feel to it, right? It's dense. And it was loud. It was very loud. And you always get maybe I'm a bad person for this. But hey, I kind of like some of your friends more than some of your other friends.
Yeah.
Why don't we have
Well,
A and B
that's
over instead
fact
of
of
C
life.
and D? Because I don't think this kid knows anything about being in someone else's home or being
Being
polite.
respectful.
Oh
Right.
man, we've definitely done that where they're like, "Can I invite, Cindy over?" And I'm like, "You know what? Let's call, Brianna
about-
instead."
What
yeah.
about literally anybody else? but
Because
Cindy?
last time Cindy was here, like
I do find with girls, it's more like, can you be friends with this person and not this person who always hurts your feelings? That's way more of a big deal with
yeah.
Oof.
like most girls who come over are pretty like respectful of
Yeah.
your stuff,
Yeah.
but it's more like, why do you talk to that person?
Right.
well, yeah, then the next day they'll come home and be like, "This person said this to me." And I'm like, "So why are you still friends?" Like I don't
Yeah, what are you doing?
understand. But then next week they're best friends and then they like
That's the
Yeah, it's
thing.
like,
It's a
she-
very
can she come
short
over?
cycle. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
But-
she can't.
There's definitely some friends though that I'm like, well, she's really good with like the younger brothers and sisters, like that kind of thing too, especially for the oldest.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I don't mind that friend coming, or the other ones kind of ignore them, and you're like, it would be a lot easier if we had a,
Friends who are the youngest are better with the siblings. Friends
Oh, of
who are
course,
also
yeah.
the oldest are good at ignoring the siblings.
Yep. Yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
That
It was
sounds fun, though.
I mean, it was also enough boys to where our two little girls didn't want to play, which was kind of good because
Mhm.
if it's just a couple, like if Will has a friend over, the girls want to
Yeah.
play too. And there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you got to mediate fights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
They're like the two girls wanted nothing to do with this absolute pack of hyenas down the
football team.
basement.
yeah, that is what it is. It's
Yeah.
like,
And I was like, cool. Let's watch a movie in mom and dad's room. I
yeah,
will
that's
lock
good.
the doors, and no one will be able to get in. You'll
Because
be fine.
otherwise, you have a Nerf. Someone got hit in the
Right,
eye. June
and
is
it's-
crying, and
It's
then
the
the
one
friend,
kid who
yeah.
rule number one is don't shoot anybody in the face, and this zero
Straight
trigger
away.
discipline. Like, dude's
Yeah.
eyeing up
Oh my
my
gosh.
4-year-old. Like, I bet I can hit both of her eyes before she sheds a tear.
Yeah.
Go home,
Oh.
Chris, or whatever. It's not his real name. I remember him. I'll
Well,
find
our
you.
big
That's so
exciting
funny.
event, we did our trade off of visits up and then down with the
That's
Gamecasters. So
Mm-hmm.
we went down and visited the Gamecasters, Ryan, Natalie, and Jeff, and all their kids, except Jeff and Devin's kid wasn't there. Jack,
Yeah, Jack's little.
he's a little.
Where, it takes more supervision, so then they can't do much.
I see. Yep.
Just because I think he's 2,
Yeah.
or 2.5, or he's
That's a
he's
great
so
age,
little
but
that
you're not
Yeah.
like, it's
not to
you're
come
not
play
like,
with the
hey, you
gang.
go hang out. Like he's
Yeah.
not doing that.
You'd have to
so.
like take care of him the whole time.
And they have grandparents that live right in town, so
Oh,
it's
there you go.
For anybody who's
peasy.
wondering, Ryan makes just as many dirty jokes in real life as he does on the podcast.
That's
so-
a great. I'm glad glad I didn't have to ask, and you had that ready.
It's
Good.
fantastic.
Good.
We had a blast. I mean,
It
I
was fun.
really had just a wonderful time. We played some games. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But mainly just hung out and talked and ate and talked and ate and played games. And I don't know.
It was good. It was like super windy, so it takes like an hour and a half to get there, right? Say that.
Yep, that sounds right.
It was that super windy all of a sudden where it was like up to 60 miles per hour like when we're leaving. This is what the news is saying, and we're like, great. And as we get to the end of our road across the street, there's a tree that just, if someone just ripped the top off of it and like flung it to the side in front of us, and we're like, okay,
Oh,
great
no.
start to the like,
Well,
it was not the
last
easiest.
time it was flood weather, right? It was
Right.
yeah,
storm.
last time is the tornado
And
flood.
I wasn't there.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's always something.
The wind was ridiculous. It was equivalent, I would say, equivalent mental energy as it would be to drive in a snowstorm. You know, where you're like
I hate
Have the, like,
exhausted by
white
the end.
knuckle.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to make good time. The roads weren't slippery. There was no reason I should be going slow. But it was like wind gusts would try to
still
knock
feel
me
it.
in the other lane.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, everybody else around me didn't seem to be having any problems with it. I'm not a particularly bad driver, but I was like really struggling to like maintain highway speed and
But
not
you're
like
right, though.
freak out.
That kind of driving is absolutely exhausting.
Oh,
I remember
absolutely.
driving home from school from tech in snowstorms,
Oh,
and like
man.
you'd have to get energy, like you're just expending energy through just radiant heat and stress, and I don't know. I'd have nightmares about making those sorts of drives. That sucks.
And you feel like you haven't blinked in like a half an hour.
Yeah.
Your
You realize
knuckles-
you're like way too close to the steering
Yeah,
wheel
right.
after a while. Yeah.
and your skin has dried out on your knuckles because there hasn't been any blood in your knuckles for like hours. It's all in the palms, right?
Oh man.
But you know,
Oh.
I find the most interesting thing, and this is truthful. The most it is interesting, and the thing I like best about this is, you know, we kind of met the Gamecasters. They had us on their show to do an interview, and then I think we had them on our show, and we talked a few more times. We've met in person a couple of times now, and it's really nice to make new friends.
Yeah.
Like as adults.
I was gonna say I don't think other than them, I haven't really made new friends
My-
as an adult. Like,
Well,
that
my
sounds
D&D
weird,
group
but-
has also made me new friends.
Yeah, I
that's
guess so.
That's
Yeah.
another thing that has happened is like that has sort of like we've been doing it long enough now that like we're friends, which makes it way more fun to have game night.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
it's the
of
same
course,
thing.
right? Yeah.
You know, like when we first visited the Gamecasters and they visited us, it's like exciting. But now I look forward to it. I get to go see my friends, you know, and it'd be the same as like if we got together, right? And like I get to see, and it's just cool to have meet somebody and then have them upgrade to that level of like, oh, I just want to see you and hang out with you because we're buddies.
Well, and then it becomes relaxing to be around them instead of the initial energy and the excitement of meeting new people and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, this is cool and exciting. Now it's cool and exciting because, well, you know, we can do whatever. We shoot the shit. We can You
Yeah.
know,
We could just
we'll
do
play
nothing.
games when we play games. It doesn't have to be
Right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
awkward until we play games.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, yeah, that was fun.
You know what? One more thing before we get into the rest of the show here. One thing that was stressful.
Oh my god.
So, Board Game Meeple Instagram account, he does Meeple Mondays where he interviews different people, and he invited us onto his show to do a live stream on Instagram.
And he wasn't stressful. That he was great.
Oh, Gareth is fantastic.
So it's not
Great guy.
He was the kind of person that once we talked, I was like, man, if we lived closer, I feel like we would get along great because we had the same like
cool.
games and this and that. He was really nice.
But he said, hey, what time works for you? I think we said 6 o'clock. Well, whatever website he looked, he's in the UK, I think. So whatever website he looked up that said, what time is it here, where he is there, it was still daylight savings time. So
No way.
it was an hour
Okay.
off.
Oh,
Or yeah, something was
Something-
messed up with it.
So we expect 6. So at 5, like it's like just going up to 5. We're like trying to get dinner ready early. I'm like, I'm gonna take the dog for a walk, and then we'll be set. And then we'll get everything set up downstairs. So I'm walking down the driveway with headphones in. I look back towards the house, and Emily's like jumping up and down in the door.
I was like, I was doing like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't walk back here. I'm like, get your butt over, like
I
trying
couldn't
to
hear
do
her
it.
with my headphones in.
I was panicking.
So what? How did you even find out that? So
So-
he went live at 5, and we
Oh,
thought we were going to go
wow.
at 6, and I'm not even.
Yeah.
We're not even in the house. We're not even set up.
we're not set
Yeah.
up and like
We haven't even done the testing of like
Yeah.
where we're gonna do. Are we gonna do it on a phone? It's on Instagram, so we're gonna have to put a phone somewhere.
I don't like that.
Nothing was ready to go.
Yeah.
So I was just like on my phone and I'm trying to like eat dinner quick. The kids are already eating. And also Natalie sends me a message and she's like, I think you're supposed to be on right now with like
Oh,
that
no.
meeple guy.
Oh, no.
And at first I was like, no, that's like at 6. And then I did the little panic. I go to his Instagram and he's live. And so when you go to it, it like automatically has you join. And he's like, oh, I think Date Night Dice joined. And I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, don't do the video. So I like quickly exit out and then I went to yell at you and I'm like panicking. I was still in like PJ. Like, I'm not, nothing was ready. Like, nothing at all.
Right,
And we go downstairs and we quickly kind of turn around. We're like, hey, oh no, it's not a problem. We've just been like,
I felt so bad.
I was like probably red from sweating running around.
Well,
and
it's not like we were 2 minutes late. We were like 12 minutes late.
yeah.
You know,
That's
and
not that bad.
and
No, but it just, I wasn't expecting it.
it was
yeah.
great. I mean,
It was
I really
fun,
had.
though.
I go check out the interview. Go to the Board Game Meeple Instagram. Watch. He has it on there. Hopefully we're entertaining, maybe not, or interesting at least.
We're
But
probably like out of breath and we.
yeah, I just felt so bad that like we kind of like forced him to have to stall for 10 minutes.
I know.
Oh,
Then I tried to
man.
send him a message, but I think he's on his phone doing it, so I'm sure he didn't
Right.
see
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I was just like panicking, trying to. But my main thing is during the whole interview, my lips were so dry and chapped.
Oh,
I just
no.
kept licking them, and I was like, "Where the hell is chapstick?" And I
right
didn't
in
have
front of
any,
you. I
so
see
I
it.
just it is this time for sure. But I just sat there the whole time, being like, "Man, I could use some chapstick."
Everybody
So-
can see my lips splitting in half right
Yeah,
now.
That's what it felt like.
in live.
HD.
right.
And they're like crackling. Yeah.
That's why we don't pay for the full HD StreamYard, because we don't want you to see how wrinkly and
wrinkled
cracked we
face.
In
are.
reality, we look like a couple of sandworms with wigs on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Gareth, if you listen to this podcast, if you come to Gen Con, I'll buy you a beer. I'm sorry that we were late
I
to your
know.
show.
Jeez.
oh,
but it
that's
was-
fun
it was
though. That's
good.
cool. Yeah.
He was great. He was
That's
nice.
weird. I've had similar, not quite the same because it's like a 12-hour difference. I say, hey, can you call me I'm on Central Time. Well, there's Central European Time. And
Oh,
so,
no.
Oh,
well, it just means they, in my business, well, they'll wait for 10 minutes and then they just hang up, right? And shoot
Well,
you
that's
an
good at
email. It's not a
least. Yeah.
live thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a, hey, we have 100 other
Right.
people here.
there's
waiting
everybody
to-
watching my show, and my guests aren't here.
Oh, man.
So not quite
Oh,
the
well.
same, but
I know.
All right. Do you
That's
guys want to talk
exciting.
about some board games?
Yeah, what have you guys been playing?
Well, if
I
we
have
were
a
like
question
now.
for you too. I have a
Mm-hmm.
question for you. We've talked about this a lot. We're doing Christmas at our house this year
Okay.
with my wife's family, which is a large group, although I don't
Uh-huh.
think we'll have that many. What are your picks for the party game, the Christmas party game? Let's say I think we had 10 people playing at Thanksgiving, and we played code names.
Oh, okay.
A couple of rounds of code names.
Yeah.
It's just casual stuff. We bought Werewolf, which is a
Ooh,
tiny little
okay.
deck. It's Secret Hitler. It's a little too much. I read the rule book today or yesterday, and it's a little too much like close your eyes now, do this, but that's just to set up who's the werewolf and who's not.
Right.
Which you have to do that in Secret Hitler, don't you?
Werewolf is the classic social deduction game.
Right.
That's
It's
before Resistance, before Secret Hitler.
Yeah.
That's the one. I mean, they even have a Bezier Games does One Night Ultimate Werewolf, which is sort of like a
That's what we
version
have.
of Werewolf. Oh,
We bought
okay.
It's Werewolf. It's Werewolf Ultimate, which Ultimate adds a bunch of like specialized villagers where like you have a power essentially.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like I can protect a person or I can do this, and then I don't know what the one night thing is. I haven't. I assume it shortens the game.
It's just a quicker, like you play like one round, I think. Instead of having to play in regular Werewolf, there's multiple rounds, and then the werewolf is killing people each night.
Until the number of werewolves outnumber villagers or something like that. Yeah.
I've never played either one, but that's my
Okay.
understanding of it.
So we grabbed that, and then I think I got the crew coming.
It's a good one.
All right, but 5 is the more players
Well,
you have for the crew, the harder it is.
The
right?
appeal
So it's
was
easiest at 3.
short games.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going for either a bunch of people at once or ultra short games. So we grabbed Werewolf and the crew. We'll see.
I would recommend So Clover.
So
That one's
Clover.
really fun.
Yeah.
We have like cats fighting. Hold on.
Oh, it sounded like a Tecmo Super Bowl, like
It's
the crowd.
Right. Along the same lines, where So Clover is very locked down to
So
a certain
Clover.
number of the clovers. Another game that's
Oh, that's right. Okay. I was just trying to picture it in my mind. Sorry.
I would highly recommend a game called Just One.
So
One. You're trying to get somebody to guess a word. Let's say it's pirate. And everybody else gives a one-word clue. You write it on these sort of like, it's like a thing you set in front of you. It's like a dry erase.
Yeah.
Except if anybody writes the same clue word, then it's eliminated. So the person who's guessing only gets to see unique clues. So you don't want to you don't want to say like
not the most obvious, right?
For pirate,
because then
right?
it'll all get
Maybe you want to say or treasure. I don't know. Maybe you want to say like cannon, and then hope somebody else says, I don't know, a sail,
parrot,
right?
Sail,
parrot,
mast. What's
just one is probably my first choice.
That's a good one.
That's
really
because I told you how to play just now. I already explained to you how to play the game.
Well,
like it.
So for So Clover, it is, I don't know how many players, 5 or 6.
3 to 6. It says 3 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only nice thing about that is even if you weren't like technically playing, you could help kind of solve where you think the cards would go.
That's
right.
So
true.
even
Everybody
if you have
can
more,
solve.
everyone can help solve.
That's
so you
cool.
can take turns who fills in the clues, but like the whole table could help even if you're not technically playing. Be like, nah, I think the card needs to be turned, or I think goes this way. So that one's fun even if you're just watching, which is nice.
Yep.
If someone
Cool.
doesn't want to like play, but they just want to sit
Right.
and hang out and watch,
Right.
that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah, because both of those games you can just get started. You're like, hey, you guys want to play this game? You just tell them how it works real quick, and you get going, and then other people just walk over and they'll be like, I want to play too, and they just like, okay, here, jump in.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a good one.
All right. Because even we were at Thanksgiving and somebody pulled out Ticket to Ride, and everybody, it was a chorus of like, yes, excellent, and then realized like, well, we can't really play that right now. Too many people,
Yeah.
not enough time.
Ah,
Best
Yeah.
game we have, but it's just not going to work. So
yeah,
cool.
bummer.
So Clover and Just One. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Mm-hmm. Highly recommend those.
What else
you
did we
probably can't support 10 like Codenames did. right?
No,
you
but
could do werewolf with 10.
Yeah, you
But
can do
werewolf
some
for
little.
sure. You
You
can
do
10.
30, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
But with those other party games, I said I don't think they do 10.
No, but that's all right. We don't have anyway. What do they play here? CLR, center, left, right, or something, which is some sort of. It's not calcium, lime, and rust. The
The cleaning
the
compound.
cleaning agent. What is CLR? CLR game. It's a dice game,
I don't know.
and you have quarters. Yeah, left, center, right. LCR they call it.
LCR.
Let me look this up. LCR. It's $9.
Here, while you look that up,
Yeah.
I will recount
Good
because
call.
you guys aren't there, so I'll recount what we've been doing on Mondays.
Oh, go for it.
For anybody who doesn't know, Mondays is our
Oh.
D&D group.
Yep.
But we haven't been playing D&D. Well, we kind of have. So we've been playing other stuff. Our big D&D campaign is going to restart in the new year.
Big D.
We did a couple of sessions that Seth ran of We Be Goblins. So this is an old Pathfinder module that he found a online conversion to D&D 5e. But you're essentially level 1 goblins. You're a party of level 1 goblins. And it's like tongue-in-cheek. It's goofy. Like, we were the Toad Lickers, and like you can lick your toad, and it gives you have to roll a d20, and based on what you roll, then you like have to roll a d6, and then based on that, he has a table of effects that happen to you and one of the characters is a goblin who is trying to pretend that he's a dragon, and then one of the other goblins actually thinks he's a dragon, so he always lights stuff on fire. Quinn was that, and then Phil was the guy who thought that he was a dragon.
That's classic Phil.
It's
fun.
just goofy. Like,
That
it's
is
just
fun.
goofy fun. We did one. They did two sessions. I missed one of them at level 1. Then we came back at level 3. So we were like kind of really strong goblins. That was kind of weird, actually. And we did a session at level 3. And we're just goofing around, right? Like, I'm a barbarian goblin who like absolutely goes nuts and like can but is like very ferocious, but you know, everybody's kind of scared of him. It's a fun way to like role play completely different than we normally do. Like, my normal D&D character is a dwarven cleric who has sort of like a bad backstory where some bridge he was working on crushed his dad and all this stuff, and like
Big
now
wind problem.
he's
Right.
a cleric
Almighty
of
wind.
Helm because he wants to protect people. And
Did you just pull that out of your sweater pocket?
another
Like a
beer.
lunch
I mean, I'm not
box.
going to shame you for it. I just wasn't expecting
I want to
it.
try this one.
The
It's
peanut butter porter.
just I just want peanut butter though. It's not gonna taste like that at all.
We'll see
But
if-
I
we'll
want to
see,
try.
man.
I
it.
got to get you guys the Brooks Brewing Peanut Buddy Porter. That's the best peanut beer I've ever had in my entire life.
Do
I
they
would
have
love
that
that.
in stores around here? Or is it
You can
just
buy
like-
it online, but you have to go get it.
Go get it.
They'll can it up for you.
I'm not going down there.
Nope, I get it. That's fair.
I just pulled out a Saugatuck Brewing Company, which is from Michigan. The peanut butter porter, smooth and creamy, 5.7%. We'll see if it's any good.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Anyway, so it's a lot of work though to put this goblin thing together, and I'm really happy that Seth did. It was nice to play D&D again, to play 5th edition again, but you know, we're not ready for a big campaign, but we have a big group. We have 6 people. So we have a party of 5 with a dungeon master, and it's hard to find board games to fill that space. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
nice to just like, let's role play, and let's role play in a system we know,
Yep.
and we'll just
Yep.
have fun with it. So yeah, I mean, I had a blast. It was nice to just be like, whatever, we'll be goofy, and like he would give us bonuses when we would sing songs and stuff because our goblins sing songs, but we hated writing, and so that was like one of our big things, you know,
Smells
like we
like
were always
peanut
like
butter.
burning anything with writing on it and stuff, just goofing around.
Nice.
But we have had the last
Ooh.
3 weeks we have had
Uh-oh.
sort of, or
She's
the last
dying.
2 weeks actually, we had a
Maximize
mixture of.
Emily
It-
dying on camera.
Is it peanut buttery?
It smells like peanut butter. It kind of tastes like a I can now taste the peanut butter after.
Oh,
Like a
peanut butter
lot
aftertaste.
I don't. Is it sweet? Peanut butter beers are always
No,
too sweet for me.
Kind of My first initial thing was it kind of tastes like the smell when you blow out a candle.
Ooh.
Whoa,
know what I
that's
mean?
hyper specific. That's like a scent that lasts for maybe a second.
But after like 15 seconds, then it's like you taste the peanut butter.
Huh.
Now I got to give it a try.
It's really weird. Doesn't it kind of taste like a blown out candle? Does that make sense?
It tastes like the peanut butter that's in between Ritz crackers and those like
Oh,
snack
so
packs that
super
you buy.
fake. Yeah. Like,
But like, wait, don't you taste it now? Like it's
Ooh,
like
there it comes.
yeah, it takes a little
huh.
while.
It has an aftertaste of a Reese's.
Yes, yeah, it's Reese's peanut butter. It's
Like a
not
drier peanut? Huh.
yeah,
Like a sugary peanut butter. But
Oh,
on-
sugary,
afterwards,
it's not.
Okay.
It's not like
Not up front.
but it doesn't taste sweet.
Up front, it tastes really bad.
It tastes like a blown out candle,
This is
It
my
does.
favorite.
It tastes like a
This is
blown out
my-
candle.
doesn't it?
It does.
It
It tastes
tastes
like a
like-
blown
I
out
don't even
candle.
know what
Ew.
that. I'm having trouble even.
Go
like,
blow out a candle. It
And they
tastes
go
like that.
and whip that in, and that's
All right,
what this
all
is.
right,
And
here I
then when
go.
about 15 seconds
Where's
after
the-
that, just rub peanut butter on your tongue quick, and that's what this is.
That sounds unpleasant, to say the least.
All right.
Now drink it up, Ben.
So the other night we had all 6 of us, and we're like, what plays 6? And so we have a list of games that we can try to play at 6. And Small World was on that list, and I was like, dang, what's up?
Ooh.
I know there's a expansion board for Small World that plays 6.
Damn.
Also, if you have the Small World Realms expansion, that also plays 6.
It's getting out of
Gosh.
control.
And I was like,
Okay.
dang, what's up? Because I have both of those, but it was already on the list. I assumed somebody else had it.
Yeah.
But Seth brought over Small World and most of the expansions, and he also had an expansion I don't have called Necromancer Island.
oh man, were you so pissed?
No, not at all. They played 5 regular players on the 5-player map, and then in the middle, on the lake in the middle, is Necromancer Island for the 6th player. And he like builds up souls as other units die.
Whoa.
And that whenever he gets to 4 souls, he triggers a new unit onto the board. And if he ever gets all of his units on the board, he wins and everyone else loses.
Oh, so it's
Cool.
like it's
Sign
almost
me
like
up.
you're battling. Everybody's kind of battling him,
Right.
but you're also battling for everything
And
else.
guess what? They didn't battle the Necromancer enough.
Oh,
and the
idiots.
Necromancer won.
Absolute
I was the
rookie
Necromancer.
mistake.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Now, is
on the
this how does
Go
this
ahead.
work with some of the like water faring groups? Because there's like the Tritons, I think.
so
Can
they could
attack
still they
him?
can still take the lake, but they cannot take
I was gonna
Necromancer
say,
Island.
yeah,
Okay.
he would. Because okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, you can never take Necromancer Island. They fought each other way too much and just
Yeah.
fed me souls. And
Exactly.
I think on the 5-player game, there's 8 rounds, and I won at round 4. I mean, it was like,
wow.
you just
Whoa, they
Just-
they absolutely blew it.
okay.
Wow.
So then
Okay.
Phil had to leave. So then we had 5 players. So we just played regular Small World. We played another game.
Classic
and-
Phil again.
Man,
Small World's fantastic.
I
I'd have played
wanna
Small World
play.
again.
I want to play.
Let's just play it again.
I forget about small.
Let
That's
me
because
play.
we're not usually
It's not
in
a good
large
2-player
group.
game.
No, it's
Well,
not
really
a
isn't.
2-player
No.
game. It's a 4-player game.
It's yeah, like minimum.
Minimum,
to
yeah.
have fun.
yeah.
And it's fine at 6 on the 6-player board. Also, this Necromancer Island was fun. I would do it again, but it was like I won so quick. It was like, man, what's up? But they weren't fighting me enough.
So
Well,
then
and
you
you
played a
can't-
regular game after? Sorry, Ken.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. You can't like attack the necromancer, right? Necessarily. So
Yeah,
you have
can
to
You can attack his units because he's trying to take over
Right, but
territories.
you
That
can't
earns him.
defeat him. So you have
No,
to
you
just
can't.
tolerate his presence.
Yeah, that's kind
You
of
have to
tricky.
kill his units so that because it's not 1-to-1. It takes 4 other deaths
Right.
for him to bring back another unit.
Which if everybody on the
Okay.
mainland is just fighting each other, no wonder you want it.
Yeah.
turn
yeah,
4.
exactly.
You can kill 10 or 12 people in one person's turn.
Right.
Huh.
Now, this week, Phil said he was going to be late, and I feel so bad for Phil because the 1 week he was gone, we had 5 players. We played The King's Dilemma, which is a legacy game, 5
You
players
talked about
max.
that one before.
Yeah.
I've talked about The King's
Yeah.
Dilemma before. He said he was
Sounds
going to be
awesome.
late. We'll do 1 round of The King's Dilemma. I love this game so much. I just, I
Yikes.
Like I was kind of joking, like,
Did you,
"Hey,
like,
Phil,
slash Phil's tires so you could
like
play?
you should miss another week."
Oh man,
And
all 4 tires are popped.
that's
Yeah,
weird.
that's crazy.
And
You're never
nothing
gonna
against
believe
Phil at
this.
all. I just want to
I've been
play the
outside.
King's Dilemma.
I've been outside in the sub-zero temps for a half an hour, smoking a cigarette, I guess,
yeah,
and I realized
your
all
tires.
your tires are flat.
That's weird. Your
Like,
tires are all
every
flat.
Monday,
As
Phil
I like
runs
put my
into a-
my
Right.
pocket knife back
Also,
in my
I
pocket.
smoke now.
Yeah.
It's just a candy
I was gonna
cigarette
say,
that's on
it's,
fire.
it's one of those, like,
Or just
chalky.
an unlit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely lit. It's burning. It's making like caramel.
It's not.
Whoa.
The burning
Or
sugar.
everyone's like, Ben, what the?
Whoop. But we played a quick round of that. It ended very quickly. I did horrible. That's fine. The show goes on. But then Phil showed up, so we played a very old Avalon Hill game called Kremlin. Now, Tom Vassell
This sounds dangerous.
designed a game called Nothing Personal that is a sort of remake of Kremlin for the modern day.
Huh.
Tom Vassell made it?
Tom Vassell. He is
Isn't that an
Yeah.
actor?
Tom Vassell is from the Dice Tower. He is a board game personality. We'll say.
Okay.
This-
So
But
I wasn't
like,
too far off.
Okay, no, I feel like you're spot on. That's exactly what he does for his job. There's no way, he's acting.
Actually, very disappointing news. The Dice Tower podcast will be no more. They're doing 10 more
What?
episodes and then stopping
I wonder
after
why.
16 years.
What are they
Wow.
starting? Should we start what they're starting?
Or 13 years? I can't remember. This
don't-
episode 750 will be their last one.
I wonder why
Wow.
Did they say why?
Tom is just tired of it.
I get
But
it.
he doesn't want
fair.
them to just do it without
I
him?
get it. I'm tired of this.
No,
Will
he
this be
doesn't.
the last episode?
Wow. I wish I wish I had that power where so many people are like, we'll continue on your thing. You don't have to work for it. And I go, no.
No.
And that's
Why, wait, huh? Well, we don't need to get into the why wouldn't you just put other people on it? Or
Right,
Well,
you
I
and they
definitely
did
think
a
you
couple
would
of years
for-
ago. They were every week, and they actually would record 2 episodes every other week and then post them each
Just-
week.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I like that.
And then instead of doing that, the show comes out every week, but every other week it's a different host. So Tom and Eric
So,
still
yeah.
continue the one, and then the off show is Mandy and Suzanne. They do
so
the
they
other
each
Dice
get like
Tower.
a 2-week.
But it's in the
thing.
same RSS feed. It's the same podcast.
Yeah, so I'm surprised he didn't
Huh.
say, hey, you guys who want to keep doing it.
I think they're going to do a new audio show. I think Eric is going to do a new show. I don't know
It's
about
just
Mandy
so
and
much
Suzanne.
work to maybe it's not for them. To me, it seems like so much work to be like rebrand, rename. Let's
Right.
redo
I
all
agree.
that. Like,
Well, and you're throwing away so much goodwill and value and
Yeah.
And
intangible.
podcasts are so popular nowadays.
that's why I'm
That's
surprised you wouldn't be
IP,
like,
baby.
let's
That's-
just hold. Yeah.
You got a captive audience. Just
I know,
just point
it's-
them where to go.
It's the
weird.
only podcast I've been listening to since I started listening to podcasts. I mean, that's the
That's
your
first
first?
one I listened to, and I've been listening to it for 2013. So what?
Okay.
9
That's
Even if you're
sad,
like-
then.
8
Yeah, it is
years?
unfortunate. Even if you're super mad about it, sell it,
Yeah.
right?
Right?
Well,
And then
it's
never,
not that They
Yeah,
have a very popular YouTube channel, and the YouTube probably pulls in way more numbers. They post
but that's why I don't.
thousands of videos
I
on
mean,
the YouTube
we
channel.
could go on forever, but I just say
Yeah.
then you do YouTube, make the podcast, even if it's once a month with the people who want to do it. I feel like
yeah.
that would still bring in something.
and then put
It's
it
a
on
bummer.
YouTube, right?
It's a bummer because I don't watch
Sure,
the
there's
YouTube
so
stuff.
many. I wonder what their numbers are. I feel like there's probably so many people who that's their main board gaming podcast.
I mean, I listen to some podcasts, right? But you
guess.
you only have so much time per week to listen to podcasts. The only podcasts
Yes.
I for sure listen to every week are the Dice Tower podcast,
Date night
the
dice.
Secret Cabal Gaming
I listen to
podcast.
myself
Yeah, right. The Day Night Dice podcast.
twice. Once on Monday.
I
and
have
again on
multiple
Friday.
devices that I keep downloading on all the.
Really, that's it. I listen to the Gamecasters now because I like listening to them, especially now that we've been friendly. I listen to Radio Lab and 99% Invisible and This American Life and, the Jim Rudd Show, a couple of other podcasts. Whenever there's a hardcore history, I listen to that. So a bunch of things. But the only things I listen to every single week, and I've never missed an episode, are the Dice Tower podcast
Mm-hmm.
and the Secret Cabal Gaming podcast. And one of those is going away.
That sucks.
And it sucks. It
What are you
just
gonna
sucks.
do? Well, you're gonna have to replace it with the date listening to yourself.
I'm going to have to listen to myself, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So anyway, if you like the what's it called, the Dice Tower, they have sent everybody here.
Right.
I
They've
think.
pointed everybody to the Day Night Dice podcast.
Right. He said, I just think there's a hot new rookie coming up.
There's
I
just,
don't want to.
you got to listen to these guys.
I don't
You're
want
never
to go
going to believe it.
with
So
these people.
professional.
So I'm
We
gonna
are. We're
retire.
the hot new rookie. We're like,
Are we?
what, 2 years into this?
Are we
Has it been 2
serious?
years? No, it's
Holy
been a
shit.
while.
Ken was still lived in Midland when we
Yeah,
started.
but wasn't that? It'll be 2 years this next spring.
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You got Pips. Oh,
That's
you
true.
have Pips.
Oh.
She likes you.
Get down. Anyway, we played an old Avalon Hill game called Kremlin.
Oh yeah.
And Kremlin is out of control. Would I recommend this game to anybody?
what does that mean?
Probably not.
Like, are there no rules? Is it just
No, so the board is like a pyramid shape of the
Scheme.
Soviet government, where there's the party leader at the top, and then there's like the head of the KGB, and there's a couple, like there's 3 government positions, and then there's 5 government positions below that.
Already sounds so not
It's
fun.
like a
Oh,
pyramid.
this sounds great. I love
And
it.
so
I'm serious.
you
Keep going.
Oh no.
you win.
What if she steps
This
on that?
this game's actually crazy. So you win if you are politically in control of the party leader at the
Just
end of the
one?
round. Well, there's only one party leader. It's
Oh,
a pyramid.
okay.
So who's ever the guy at the
I
top
figured there were 3. I see now. Okay.
at the end of a round, if you're in control of the party leader, then he goes on a parade and you get a point. And whoever
Goes
gets
on a
3
parade.
points first
Sorry.
wins.
Which is what you do. Yeah.
The problem is that throughout the game, everybody is like, you every time you use actions of the government people, they get stress points, which ages them, and then you roll on this table, and there's like this table to see like, do they get sick, and if they're sick, do they get more sick, and then
Is this
if,
about
do they
raising
die?
children? This sounds like a literal description of raising children.
And then
You
everybody
get- Stress. You roll on the table. Literally, physically, your body rolls across the table.
right.
Someone rolls you
get
across the
sick.
kitchen. You.
Or you die. Right. Okay. Sorry.
Well,
Sounds about right.
so
Yeah.
you
How many
everybody
wrinkles do
has
you add?
everybody has a paper pad with all the people on it, all the people that can be in the different government positions, because there's like these named cards. And you have 1 through 10 points to spend. So you can put 1 on somebody, 2 on somebody else, 3 on somebody else, 4 on somebody else, all the way up to 10. At the beginning of the game, you do this secretly. And then when people are in government positions, when it's like, oh, it's the KGB guy's turn, and during that action, who's ever in charge of the KGB guy can use him to exile people to Siberia. Well, people have to reveal their influence, but you don't necessarily reveal all your influence. You'd be like, well, I have 3 influence on that guy.
Oh my God, I would have
And then somebody else will be like, well, I have 5. And you're like, well, actually, I had 7, or I had 8. So I'm in control of who gets exiled here. And it's just so like, you blind bid at the front essentially on like who you're going to want political control of. And then throughout the course of the game, you like reveal that. It's just
Whoa.
insane. I mean, it's just
Sounds
crazy.
Sounds
And
sweet. I want in.
every revealed influence that is on somebody when they get exiled to Siberia is gone. But if you hadn't revealed your influence, that is still good. You can reveal that later. Anyway, Seth somehow manipulated it so that he had the party leader, and then at the second tier, which has 3 people, there are 2 positions that could essentially oust him, and he had control of both of those. And so there was no way for us to win, and he won. But
Expertly done.
it really was. It was well done.
That sounds great.
It was crazy because you could have 9 influence out of, like, 10's your highest number, right? You're like, well, I got 9 on this guy. This guy's one of my heavy hitters. And then somebody else is like, I got 9 on him too. And then somebody else is like, well, I have have 7 on the KGB guy, so you guys are both exiled, and you lost all that power. It's like,
Oof.
damn it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happened. Yeah, it was crazy.
Sweet.
This sounds
Sign me up.
What's going on over there? You're like so bored in Kremlin, you're like searching your phone for more
I was trying
interesting
to show
stuff?
that Pippa was like about to touch every button to mess up the entire
You're doing
system.
Instagram stories while we're recording the podcast.
You're talking about like
She's
Russia
working double
or
duty,
something.
man.
Yeah.
She's overtime.
Yeah, I'm writing down my hours quick so you can pay me at the end of the week.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This fake marriage.
Ouch.
We have so many more games we've played. I've like talked so much about what we
Yeah,
played
wait,
on
you
Mondays.
talked about this.
All right, Ken, have you? I tried to put your werewolf thing in here in the middle to give a break to this, but we've already talked about werewolf.
Yeah, I threw it out there right
Son of a
away.
bitch.
We're gonna play it. We played Code Names at Thanksgiving. This LCR thing.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Lime,
yeah.
calcium, rust. It's left, center, right. It's a little tube. You can buy it pretty much anywhere. I think
Okay.
it's 3 die, and it's a whole bunch of tokens. It plays 3 to 100 players.
What?
You sit in a big family style
Whoa.
table. Everybody starts with 3 tokens. First person rolls 3 die. They say LCR. You pass 1 token left. You keep 1 token center. You pass 1 token right. Pass the dice over. Depending on how you roll, the last person with tokens wins. That's it. Right? So if you rolled 3 R's, you pass all 3 of your tokens over and you're out.
Okay.
If you roll, 3 C's, you keep them all. And so the more you have, the more chance you have of surviving, because you can only ever lose 3.
Are you
That's
ever
it.
making decisions?
No, it's pure
Or
luck.
is the dice is just running the
100%
show?
pure luck. It's a party game.
Yeah,
right?
it's
a
just like
big
a-
party
Let's
game.
just see what happens.
I mean, you could even
Yeah.
It's like Strike.
theoretically have
Yeah.
you could theoretically have multiple sets of die running
keep
through
going.
the table. If you had 100 people, you'd
That'd be
need
fun. If
10
everybody's
sets of
going
die.
quick and just like
just
Mhm.
going.
that'd be good.
That's it.
All right.
Go
No
get it.
like
It's
Kremlin
$6.
hitting the
Yeah, anyway, so I spent my tokens on Hitler because he was Russian, right?
yeah, can you
Anyway.
spend a token to change
He's
the face of the
No,
dice?
I think they were doing
that would be cool.
in a very Midwestern, God-fearing yet risk-taking way. I think they use quarters if you don't have tokens. So you're
Okay.
Okay.
you're gambling, but not in a way that God would disapprove
Don't get
of.
too crazy, okay?
Right. It's 75 cents, Lord. Can't be that
Right.
much.
Like, it's no big deal. Like,
So like
100 people are playing.
And
you
anyway,
know.
we're
that's
gonna
what I
want to
said to
move
my
the potlucks off
pastor.
the table for
Just because I ended up with $75, it's not my problem.
Not a big deal.
Exactly.
Like
Right.
he would
So,
approve.
so if you have 3 die and 3 quarters, you can play. It's a
We can
bar
get
game.
crazy.
There we go.
Yeah,
Giddy up.
Wait, when you guys played, did you guys enjoy Codenames though?
we did. Yeah, there were definitely people who didn't get it.
Get it?
Well,
yeah.
no, that's not wrong. That is wrong.
That's
They
not-
they were falling for the classic. Gosh, how do I explain this?
Like one-word clues or one.
No, they were. So let's say my word is pirate,
Okay.
right? And there's out on the board. There's like ship, and there's
Island.
island, and there's something obscure like
Flag.
flag or boot,
Okay.
right? And then so they
Hook.
take
Calm down.
hook is too on point, like
Yeah.
like
Has to be
Compass.
No, because that's too on point. Something that's like
it has to
like
ride the line.
water or waves or
Water or
yeah.
Right.
travel.
Like,
Sand.
yeah,
so-
travel. Yeah,
so the
something
word
that's
is
not
pirate.
100%.
The word is pirate, and then they get the obscure one, like travel, and it just happens to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And then they totally lose sight of the original clue, and they're like, "Well,
Oh.
travel. What about like plane?"
And you're like, no.
Plane's got nothing to do with pirate.
right, but there's
Plane is
something-
the assassin. Stop talking about plane.
There's something about this game and something about the way human brains work that when you're on a roll, I feel
Yeah.
like people want to go with it. They don't go back to the
No.
original crew.
Turn back.
Well,
Or the original clue, excuse me.
I feel like that's Ben's clues in a nutshell.
No, that's not my clues in a nutshell. My clues are like, if it's spice and Harkonnen, I say Dune.
What?
No. No, you do not.
No. I was gonna say though,
Let the
if
spice flow.
Oh, you know what? The problem
no,
is
you go first.
they start to think that the clues on the board relate to each other, when in
Oh.
reality,
No, they don't.
it's the one word I gave you that points to all 2 or 3,
Yeah.
right? And so they get like, okay, my word is poison.
Yeah, you're
And-
not getting a word. It's like these just happen to be out
Right.
there. They're
It's
not.
ambulance and I don't know, vomit or something. And they're like, yeah, but you wouldn't vomit in
Drinking.
an ambulance because you'd be, or yeah, drinking is removed, right? And it's sort of like, well,
Drinking is the assassin.
Okay,
You're
so
trying to get them to guess
Oh, yeah.
ambulance and vomit.
You are even
You're
messing
ruining
up
this.
us talking.
Yeah,
code names.
you're not
This
getting what
is-
I'm trying to say.
This is
This
a
is
little
the
preview of
problem.
him during
I'm
code
trying to
names.
illustrate.
DUI 3.
Right. Whoa, that is poison.
And I'm trying to get you to guess
Poison.
poison
ambulance,
ambulance.
and vomit.
and kid, and drinking is the assassin.
Right.
That's how Ben plays. I just
Right.
remember the one, I think you said like toothbrush or toothpaste, or no, one of the things was floss, and you said Glide, and I'm like, well, Glide is like a floss brand.
No. All right.
And-
Let's go back to whatever
and so-
Ken was saying. How do I mute your channel?
What was I saying? I guess it's just
But-
you can't relate the cards
Yeah.
on the board to each other, right?
Right.
They all
Yeah, like
have to
they're
go back to
random.
the clue. And the problem was they're trying to and I think it's just a beginner thing.
Yeah.
They're like trying to tic-tac, like, oh, we got poison and we got ambulance. So what about like spider? And
You're
no.
like, no, they don't always relate.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even that's a bad example. Like poison, ambulance, heart attack. Okay, heart attack has nothing to do with poison in most cases. I'm not
Yeah.
a poison expert. But so anyway, that's my point. Is it's like focus on the clue, not
Yeah.
and then not everybody for some reason we had a weird hang up on like, well, you can remember the clues from before and you can keep going because you missed them.
You don't
right?
have like
Yeah.
memory loss.
You can just keep going.
Yeah, like if you all of a sudden realize what they meant when they said horseshoe or,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
you can
But
say
otherwise
it,
it was
but-
great. Otherwise it was great. Yeah. They
Um,
caught
It
on.
sounds better because it was confusing. This sounds fun.
Yeah, it's always
it was
fun,
more
though.
fun, right? Because you get to watch that team like piece together this
Fall apart.
absolutely insane this puzzle that does not exist. Like, oh, we nailed it. We got it.
If you and Megan like that though, Codenames Duet, which we only recently played, is that but fantastic for just 2 players.
Really?
And at
Because-
first I was like, I don't understand how this would work. I don't see how this would be
It's
fun.
amazing.
It was so good and so much fun and so easy, and
We were
it's the
told
same
it
thing.
sucks.
No,
the
it's-
same. Okay. All right, maybe
we
I'll get
really
it.
enjoyed it, and I
Yeah.
thought it like even when we mess up and we were like we failed, being like, hey, come on, we can do it this
Re-rank
time.
it.
Like let's do it. I thought it was so much fun for a 2-player
Is it
game where it's
co-op?
like
It's 2-player co-op. That's
yeah,
what
you're
it is.
working together, but there are still assassin cards, so it's
Yeah.
it's tricky, but that's what makes it so much fun.
I was
So-
just like you, Ken. I said, how could that possibly be fun? This is a party game. Why would I want to play it 2 players? And we picked it up and
It was
played
fun.
it, and I was like, holy crap, this is amazing.
yeah, I
You think
really
it's
liked
better
it.
than regular code names?
Yes.
Well,
Well, you're
I
certainly
mean,
going to play it more at 2 players.
Yeah.
I think.
It's just
it's
as fun.
easier, but it's just as fun. It feels like a party game, but just the 2 of you.
Easier to
Nice.
get out to the table,
Yeah.
not easier to win. It's still
No, I feel like it's
to
harder.
win.
But
Gotcha.
that's really fun. So
All right, here's what we're gonna do.
I don't think you should go through every single one.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna fire through all the games we've played since the last podcast. Emily and I have played together, and I want you to tell me what you think about this game. So up first, the newest big box Uwe Rosenberg game that we've talked about before, Hallertau. I would call this a return to form, and a very good one. What are your thoughts?
That was a really weird
Haven't we
intro.
talked about this one?
We have.
Yeah, we have.
I just want Emily to tell me what she thinks.
I really enjoy this game because it's slightly different than his usual games, where I don't quite know how to tackle it. It's
Uwe Rosenberg. Feast for Odin, Caverna, Agricola.
A little ooey. The Rosenberg boy.
You know, your little cousin ooey.
I love this game. Thumbs up?
Thumbs up. Like this game a lot.
Everdell, you had the game night choice, and you chose Everdell.
I love that game.
Great game. We played Everdell.
I think it's fun.
We recently picked up MicroMacro Crime City Full House, which is the second one of these.
On Instagram. And I love the way it looks. Tell me.
If you like Where's Waldo, imagine if you combined a Where's Waldo with a crime-solving game.
Perfect.
Yeah, you kind of so you find, it'll be like who, I don't know, stole jewelry from whatever. And it kind of shows you find it, but then you backtrack and you can kind of follow the person throughout the city, find clues, blah, blah, blah.
Right. It's a giant Where's Waldo map that is in different points in time. So if you see somebody here, you can find, they came from here.
Over here.
Then from there, they got really in this car. I need to follow. Where did that car go? It went here.
The only thing I would say is it probably plays best at like 2 or 3, because once you have too many people, it's like, I can't get it.
It becomes messy.
It's just hard.
You need to see, and it's tiny, and everybody's leaning over the table. 2 would be
perfect, is my thought.
I think 4 can work well if you don't have kids who are like, they need to like lay on the table for some reason to look at it. I don't understand why.
Megan loves puzzles, so I feel like this is
that one she would like.
This would do it.
Yeah, I don't see how she couldn't like this.
Crime City, Full House.
They're just different versions.
It's just another map with new missions.
Whichever one you can.
The same game.
I'm in.
Whichever one you can get them both. If you can get them both.
But that's fun. Solving the little crime, solving the puzzle. It's like a Where's Waldo.
Speaking of if you can get it, I saw Marvel United shrink wrapped in Target the other day. 1 copy.
Oh, that's crazy.
Whoa! Like it was like a rare.
And it wasn't on the shelf. It was in one of the hand baskets, thrown back in the hand basket stack.
That's bizarre.
With like a shirt and some, I don't know, toothbrush heads.
Well, I'm pretty sure my base game copy of Marvel United I got at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never seen it there. It was just bizarre.
That is
right.
weird.
I've never seen it at Target either.
I think it's still hard to get.
You're in the heartland of Target. You're in that area.
This is Target land.
From Minneapolis.
The Target land.
Right.
If you go to the Minneapolis one, you have a little, it's 2 floors. So you put your cart on a little thing and it brings it up to the second floor.
There's an escalator for your cart. Yeah.
Which I have been there and I'm always like, I don't want to F this up. So I'm not going to go to the second floor is what has happened. I just
don't go there.
You just don't go.
I think they left actually. Anyway.
Aw.
We played a recent pickup. We played for the first time Blitzkrieg, World War II in 20 minutes. I really, really liked this game. And Emily, what did you think?
I thought it was fine. We only played once.
We need to play it again.
I think the main problem is I like a game that has like a theme and I like the art, and I think the play of it was fun and fine and super simple and easy and quick. You pick your tile, you put it down, this and that, you draw from the bag. It's easy. But to me, it's kind of like, that's kind of boring. That's it.
I felt like there was really tough decisions, and I was like, I'm going to push into this front in this way and do this. And I feel like I won really fast that way. So I do feel like there's important decisions there if we play the game a few more times to kind of explore.
I agree, but if someone was pick out a game, maybe it's also rarely
too short.
Rarely am I gonna pick a 15-minute game.
Yeah.
But also I'm not gonna go, I just love the art in this one. No. I just love the theme. No. If we went to a brewery or a bar or something, and someone said, "Hey, I
then
have
that'd be
this."
good.
Yeah, sure, I'll play, but I'm not going to take it off the shelf.
Right.
I really don't care. It's World War II?
World War II, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, and it's little tiles that, first of all, the colors practically match, where I couldn't tell what the hell was happening. That was stupid. There are so many colors. Why do people are like, should we do light gray and light blue? No. Pick 2 different colors on the color wheel.
It was almost like it was like tan and light gray, and you're like, these look very similar.
But then I couldn't. There's a color wheel. Pick the opposites if you would like 2 different teams. It is not that hard. I don't understand when it's always like a light green and a light blue, a light gray. Just pick separate. I
throw this into the category of Res Arcana. Would you rather play Res Arcana or Blitzkrieg again?
I don't know. They're the same.
Exactly. They're games that I feel
care.
like I would crush you in each time because you're like, I don't care about this. And I'm like, oh, I have all these great plans for what I'm going to do. And
Res
then I
Arcana
like destroy
definitely
you.
has more to it. This one is fine, but out of all the games we have, I'm not going to go, ooh, let's get that one out. That's just not going to happen. If you're sitting at a bar and that's behind you on a shelf, yeah, I'll grab it. That's kind of the only time I'm really going to bring it to the table before something else.
All right.
Doesn't mean it's bad. I don't know. There's better games? I don't know how to say it.
Next on the list, we have Taverns of Tiefenthal, which we played with Roberto and Kate on over
Skype, whatever you want to call it.
Zoom or something. You know, they had a camera on their board, and then did they? We had cameras on each other. We each had a copy of the game.
So the thing with this game is the main thing is you draft dice. Is the main interaction. There are cards you can buy, but overall they're kind of a random draw, other than like 1 or 2 piles. So we kind of said whatever for the cards. We're not going to be very specific for what comes out, which someone messaged us and was like, could not grasp this concept.
Well, yeah, because we kind of like broke the rules a little bit. Like we weren't fighting over guests. You know, we had our tableau of guests or our like line of guests, and they had theirs, and it was like whatever.
That you're playing.
We're playing over like cameras.
Zoom. I mean, that's gonna happen.
Let's just make some shortcuts.
I also don't care if I win a game over Zoom. It's more there just to hang out with someone and to play. I'm not like concerned about that, but I love this game though. This game's really fun. I think it's good at 2 players. It's good at 3, 4. It's really fun.
Anybody out there, if you haven't played Taverns of Tiefenthal and you like Euros and you like deck building, this game is so good. So
super easy and fun and good. It is really simple.
Nice.
We had our friends Taylor and Phil over, and then they brought their son Ted. So the kids, and Olivia was supposed to be in charge of Ted. I thought she did a decent job of watching Ted. And we played a couple of games. We played a round of Project L. I think the highlight of Project L
lost horrible at that.
Was Phil beat me, which pisses me off. I thought I was unbeatable at Project L, but
it's just because you play against me a couple times.
Dang it, he beat me. He beat me.
I want
was
this
like
game really bad.
So I'm horrible at this game, but it's fun, no matter what. Like I mean,
it's
it's like it's a Tetris mixed with like the components are so nice.
Yeah.
The little tiles are fun to play with on their own. Like the kids are always like, "Can I play with them when you're done?" Like I just want to. It's just a fun game. Even if you aren't doing good, it's still fun to try to make the little
I'm so
puzzles.
mad he beat me. He had 25. I had 23. I don't know what everybody else had. Something in the teens. I'm so mad he beat me.
It's really like 13.
But I do like that as soon as we finished, Taylor was like, hey, you know, Christmas is coming up. Like, you want to find a game I like?
Hint,
Here you
hint.
go. Project L is so good.
It is good. And it's not, like, it's so simple overall. So it's a good one.
Then we played Clank. And we played on the base game board. The base game comes with a double-sided board. We played on the more advanced side. But we also played with the Adventuring Party expansion, which means everybody is a character. You get a specialized starting deck.
Yeah, which we've
and
never
you have
done.
a special power. And I thought that was a great way to play Clank.
That is a good way. I do find with more than 3 people, it is kind of long. I mean, we also have kids, and like, so you're kind of distracted and this and that.
We played with 3, just the original recipe.
I feel like 3
and
was
it was
good.
pretty long.
Well, we
4
played.
was even where all of a sudden
We played
I go,
the
what am I
Penny
doing?
Arcade one.
Yeah.
Well, right. For anybody who is maybe a newer listener, the three of us, played through all of Clank Legacy, which we played through the
Took us
whole thing.
months.
It did take us months.
Was that over
and
the pandemic at first?
No, this was before pandemic.
That was before, yeah.
I still
Okay.
think Clank Legacy is the best version of Clank.
Yeah, I mean, if you like
It
the
was
game, I would say
so-
that's
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. But we played base game Clank with Adventuring Party. I thought that was a ton of fun. It was awesome. Everybody's special powers were cool.
Nice.
It's a good one.
I heard Jeff talking about the Quezzle, which is a quest puzzle.
Oh, I was like, what the heck is this?
You
I know
wrote
what
it
is.
down.
I know. That's why I got confused.
We picked up, I can't remember who it's from. Who makes it? I can't remember. But we picked up, it's called Quezzle. It's a 4-part
So
puzzle.
it's like a wooden
laser cut
puzzle. There's 4 parts, so 4 little puzzles, but they kind of coordinate and they can you can take pieces out and they match up and this and that. It's really cool looking. It's pretty, but it's also where on the back side sometimes it'll look like a dog or a horse or whatever.
A dinosaur.
When you flip it around, like the laser cut the way it is, when you flip it around, it's a piece of the puzzle that doesn't look like that. So it has like little hints and things you can take out and kind of build, and they coordinate with other puzzles. Like Jeff was telling us, he was telling Liv how if you take like one piece out of the first puzzle and then out of like the second one, it makes like a princess if you put them together. Like there's different pieces that can coordinate, which is really fun.
Yeah, and then each puzzle of the 4 puzzles, they come with a little sheet of paper that has a bunch of find this in the puzzle, or
Yeah.
did you find this and solve the maze? And then so each puzzle has little quests in it, and then there's a 5th sheet of paper that is here are the quests. If you have all 4 of the puzzles and all of them put together, then there's a bunch of can you find this, or that princess thing is probably one
Yeah,
of the
that's right,
quests.
And there's some extra pieces to make
Nice.
things. It's fun. And it's just if you like puzzles, it's a really nice quality puzzle too. The pieces are very unique compared to the normal, and they're like I said, they're like the wood laser cut where it's. I
Man,
don't know.
that's cool.
It's
Nice.
really nice. Those are fun.
When we were at the Gamecasters, we played Bohnanaza, which is Uwe Rosenberg from 1997.
Whoa. Throwback.
I thought it was fun where you're sort of negotiating with everybody at the table, trying to get beans.
Yeah, you're trying to grow beans, but you negotiate. So you pull out some and you'll be like, how much will someone give me for this coffee bean? But if you don't negotiate them away or trade them or whatever, then they go into your field and you have to plant them and this and that.
And you're trying to get fields of matching beans to get points. The interesting thing about this game is your hand has an order. It has a front and a back. So when new cards come into your hand, they go to the back.
Gotcha.
And when you play cards, they have to come off the front. So I guess you could have a deck, but it's essentially
Yeah, I was going
you
to
get
say
to
that's
see,
just a deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
but you get to see your whole deck
Yeah.
all the time.
So it
Yeah.
is that problem of hey, if I trade this and this, I can get to this one sooner, whatever.
Yep.
You
Okay.
can kind of.
It was
That's
cool.
cool.
Then we played 6 Nimmt, which was
What's that one?
how did that one work?
That was the one where you have to put numbers in order, right?
There was
Where
bowls.
There's 4
It
rows.
starts with 0, goes
And
1.
so if you
2,
have a 10, you put
3.
it to the closest number that it goes to, and you kind of keep ordering them. Once there gets to be 6, I think, you have to take that row and start over,
Then
and then
it's
there's
points.
points on them against
okay.
Did you like that game?
you. I mean, it's fine.
I liked that game.
Sounds
Then we
cool.
played Incan Gold, which was a push your luck game of how deep do you want to go into this temple or whatever. But if you ever get a
Oh my
match on,
But see, the thing is, these games, Ryan makes these games so much better because he is losing his
he's
mind.
screaming.
Where when he's flipping the card, he's like, "Are you gonna stay? You gonna stay in the temple?" And you're like, "I'm gonna stay." And he's like, "Here we go, motherfucker!" He is losing his mind about flipping. He's like, "6 gold!" The whole time. Where really normally someone could just be like, "Yeah, you got 6 gold,"
Hey, nice
and that's
draw.
it.
Yeah.
So he
When
really
him and
he
Jeff
ups
stayed
the
in that
game.
one time, and they stayed in so much longer than
Yeah, they
everybody
did.
else, and he was like,
Everybody left.
"Woo, we got the 14, baby!"
And they're like
And it's
high
like
fiving.
they were like
and
going
doing
insane.
A handshake, and all of a sudden you're like, I guess I should stay in at that point.
It was so awesome.
But that also
Good.
that's always with games. I mean, if you're playing with people who are like upping
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
you know, the theme
Yeah.
and this and that, it's so much more fun.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, they're all fun, like quick, like group party games. So
We also played Insider, which
We
we've
have
played
that
before.
one.
Ken, have you ever played Insider?
Rings
we
a
play
bell,
that
but
one
I
too?
have not. I don't think so.
I don't think we did. But
So you're trying to guess a word, and there's a
it's
person
kind
who
of like
knows
20
the
questions.
answer.
So
There's a person who knows the answer, and they're being asked the yes/no questions. Is it a thing? Is it big? Is it smaller than a toaster?
Sure.
And there's also one of the person asking the questions also knows the answer.
but you don't know who.
But at the end of the game, if everybody guesses who the insider was, then they lose. So you're trying to make sure
They
that
lose?
no, like they would win.
the
gonna
insider
say.
loses.
Yeah.
The insider
Yeah.
would lose.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So the insider is trying to make sure that you get
Right.
the right
Right.
answer in the time limit without
Revealing
that is the
who
thing,
you
the
are.
time limit.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
being like, does it have to do with outside? And all of a sudden you're like, is it a trampoline? Like, I think
Right.
we know
Do you
who
jump
the
on it?
insider
No.
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This game's good too. I really enjoy
I think that's
Insider.
a fun, like, that would actually be a good one, too, for a party
Yeah,
game because
sounds
so
like
many
it.
people can play.
Oh, you can play with like essentially infinite people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one's fun because
Cool.
everybody just yells out stuff. Is it bigger than a toaster? Can you feed
Right.
it? Like, whatever the heck. So,
And the final board game that we played
Did we
since
play
the
this
last
last night?
podcast,
No.
podcast
last night?
a couple nights ago, we played
Okay.
the newest Tapestry expansion from Stonemaier Games, Arts and Architecture. This expansion adds a fifth track. So in this game, typically there's 4 tracks that you're going up on. It's a weird sort of civilization game where you're an action on a turn is to go up a track. This adds a 5th track. It also adds new city boards and some new technologies, tapestry
you're
cards,
struggling right now.
and civilizations. I liked this, even though I didn't touch the new track.
Did you go on it at all?
No,
That's what
I didn't go up one space on the new track.
I went up at like halfway or something, and I won. So maybe
Yeah.
that's the.
Emily got like the highest score ever.
I
for
got
us.
the high score for the
She's
game so far.
Almost got 300 points, which in the Tapestry rulebook says a decent score is 300 plus.
That's when.
Whoa.
We've almost eclipsed 300.
So on Board Vengers one time when I don't know what game type we were talking about, Roberto randomly brought in Jamie, who makes this game. He is the designer. He has made it. And all of a sudden we were like, hold the phone. So by the point of like 5 wines in, when we could ask him questions, I said, okay, excuse me, in the rule book, you say 300 is a decent score, which I think we played with you too, Ken. It was like we were all getting like 150s.
Yeah.
And I was like, who do you think you are saying 300
How
is a
dare you.
decent
Right.
score?
How
And
could you say that?
and
I
at
think
that
I think
point-
when we played, me and Ken got in the 120s. I think I had 129.
That's what I mean. And I was like, what do you mean a decent?
Sounds
And he was like,
familiar,
well,
yeah.
that I think that we actually did bump it up a little bit. And so the fact that I'm close to 300 though is I'm like, oh, I'm almost getting
That's
that
crazy.
like almost getting it.
You're almost there.
But I mean, I think our last score was like 160. And then this time I got like 280 or 280 something.
Whoa.
Here it
So
is.
I feel like it's a rare. Yeah.
Well, the 3 of us played on October 10th of 2019. Emily got 267,
Whoa.
and
Whoa.
Ken got 132, and I got 127.
Wow.
Holy.
Okay.
How did I
Jeez,
do
what
that?
were you smoking? What
What
was
was I
wrong with
doing
you?
that I went around the track again?
Do you like this expansion?
I do.
Is it necessary?
You don't need it, but I like expansions that add to the game without changing the game.
Yep.
I hate when all of a sudden you add something. It's like, well, now this makes this easier, and this part you don't need because you have this, or like it kind of changes it too much. This one is, instead of the 4 tracks, you can also do this, and that's about it.
I like expansions that give you more options when you're playing the game, but don't necessarily make the rules more complex. It's
'Cause we
very
have-
easy to include this expansion without having to reread the expansion's rulebook.
Yeah.
I would never have to. I
No.
would never have to open up the expansion's rulebook to play this game. It's just another track. There's a couple of new symbols. They're very obvious how they work, and then it adds new cards to all the other decks. Okay,
Yeah.
sure, great.
We definitely have
Awesome
expansions for
purchase.
some games that I'm like, I don't want to play with it because
Yeah.
I don't like the way it works. This one, you throw it out there. It's just one more option. That's it.
Or like, there's some expansions where you're like, I don't remember how this. I remember the base game, but I don't remember what the
How it works
expansion
with it,
does.
yeah.
Like, do you remember how Farmers of the Moor expansion works with Agricola? Exactly. I don't.
When it feels
I
like you're
didn't even know
playing
there
the
was.
expansion instead of the
Yeah.
game, that's
I
not
agree.
great,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Just make that a separate thing, I guess. But
Yeah.
then I don't know. That's
I
not
agree with that,
necessarily
though.
good at either.
All right, Ken, we're gonna take a little break here. Of all those games we mentioned, do any of them shout to you, you know what? I'd like to play that.
Gimme MicroMacro Crime City.
That's a good one.
Gimme Project L.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of Blitzkrieg if I can play with the boys.
Yeah.
That's a boys game.
It is.
Award
I
games.
just mean a group of people that you
Yeah, I know
know
what you mean.
very well, basically. Like, very well.
That would be a good scenario, though. If it was like the 4 of you guys, like, out somewhere hanging out, that would be
Yeah.
a great game for that scenario.
Yeah.
A Blitzkrieg tournament.
But us at home,
Let's not get
I just
greedy.
don't see why I would choose it over other games.
That's fair.
So it has to have
Insider
like the place.
sounded cool, too.
Insiders,
Clank.
it's tiny
I love
too.
Clank. Bonanza
Insiders
sounds
like
cool.
a very tiny, little tiny box.
It's like the size of like a business card.
Yeah.
I'll have to have you send it to me. Show me what it is. Because I looked
right.
it up and it was something else. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
I
in
found
a
We'll have
little
to,
tiny
yeah,
red
we'll,
box.
We'll show you.
You'll have to show me.
Oh yeah, let's take a break.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back. Emily, could you enlighten us with some Instagram questions?
I do have a few.
I have not read any of these. I have no idea what they are.
Okay, let's see. We have a couple from Abroad Game. Is it Game or Games? I'm sorry if I mess up your name,
Is
by
he
the way.
abroad or is she abroad?
No, I think that they...
Or is he
I think that they have-
abroad?
I think it's a couple, mainly a guy who runs it, but I think they travel abroad.
I'm just teasing. We chat all the time on Instagram.
But I feel like you still don't know, though.
I do.
Yeah? Do you?
Sure.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I feel like you're just hoping. Anyway, when do you decide to get rid of a game, if at all?
When your house floods.
Easy
When
one.
it is destroyed.
Yeah. No, I don't know about you guys, but for us, it's pretty easy early on. Are we going to play this again?
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, I agree with that. Doesn't mean we're getting rid of it. with you.
Certainly by the third play.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know by then, right? If you're like, should I break up with this game?
Yeah.
After 3 plays, you should break up with that game.
It's also, guys, if you if
Yeah,
it's not
that's
a game, it's a
if
person.
that wasn't clear, men and women.
This
if
is
you're on
an
the
little
fence,
analogy.
hint
yeah,
here.
it's hardly even an analogy.
It shouldn't be difficult. Okay.
Yeah,
When I run out of shelf space,
there you go.
then I have to
That's
make
it?
some hard
The
decisions.
exact opposite of my point.
Yeah, that's like all of a sudden she doesn't fit in the car. Like something weird that's a...
We'll buy a bigger car. That's what Ben's saying, right? Time to go car shopping. Time to go
I don't
shelf
know.
shopping.
When I spend too much money on something other than games, and then the game's gotta go. That's what happens.
So my thought is
Mm-hmm.
is like you were saying, Ken, though. First of all, before we buy it, how many times would we actually play this? Because games vary. They're $20 to like $100.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
If all of a sudden we're buying a $60 game and I'm like, I'm not sure. Well, what if we played it 2 times. Would I pay $30 to play a game? No.
Of course not.
So-
but that's not.
You know, like, I
You
kind of look at it
can't-
that way to start, though.
I feel like you can and you can't base it on price per play, right? That's a conversation that comes up a lot in like, well, would you watch a movie if it was
Yeah.
$60?
It costs
'Cause that's what a
$50
video
to
game-
take the family to the movies. You know,
Right.
I like
And
it. Did you do a voice of a dad? But it was like,
yeah, that's
But it's me.
it's
it's you. It's just future you.
Well, would you?
People always use the example of the movies because the movies are very expensive, and
They
you're
are.
right. Like compared to a video game
Well,
or a board
yes.
game, anything you can do more than once.
Well, we're talking like video games. You're talking about $60 for potentially 120 hours,
Right.
Yeah,
like the big
that-
games,
I
right?
get
Mhm.
that.
Easily over. So it's just I don't like the hour
It's
versus
tricky.
time thing. But then again, I
But-
mean, I own games that I paid $60 for, and they're still shrink wrapped because one day
no.
I'll play it. It's
One day.
Dinosaur World.
That is a thing.
It's
though.
up there.
You can.
Good choice.
You can do
Yeah,
the thing of
I'll play it
someday
once.
we will get to it, which
We'll
I
get to it.
understand that. But sometimes for us, I mean, there's games that you've gotten, and I go, "Why would you get this?" I could have told you by looking at the screenshot, it's a no go.
Yeah.
So in that case, but
I don't know.
usually it's
No
if we
answer.
haven't played it in so long, it's kind of like, why is it taking up space?
I think you could say if you've played it a certain number of times and you're
That
not
too.
a fan, it's
Yeah.
time you get rid of. I mean, sell it.
Well, you can also get worn out of games. You could have a game that's your
Oh, sure.
favorite, and you've played it. You've played it enough,
Have we had one like that?
and you're
Well,
like,
Terra Mystica was like that. But Terra Mystica was a great game, really good. But if you only have 2 people, it's not a good game. And that's why we sold it, because we didn't have other people at the time.
true. Another one maybe would be like Agricola. We've played 50 times. We've played that game enough.
That's a different
now
scenario, though.
you're in sentimental territory.
Well,
just
that's
hold
why
that's
we
why
have
we
it.
still have it.
Right.
We
Yeah,
still have
exactly.
it because it's the first game we got. But let's say we had gotten a game that we had played out similarly.
Yeah, but like, what would that be?
I don't have any
What's the next
examples
one?
of that.
I don't-
know.
yeah.
Because you sold them, so it sounds like it's not
Viticulture.
sentimental.
I'm just kidding. I
No,
love
we
that game.
play that game all the time. Oh, hey, Ben, what's your workout music? And Ken.
I don't know.
What's my workout music?
Whatever
It
gets you going.
depends.
Whatever gets you going.
It's
Right
typically
then and there.
hip hop.
Hip hop?
Hip hop.
I'm a
I like
I'm a
Beast
pop
Mode
man.
hip hop on Spotify is a decent playlist, but
Beast
I listen to that too many times. A lot of times I just search workout music on Spotify and just click on one of them. I also have a playlist with like 120 songs on it that's garage workout, and it's a mixture of hip hop and indie music. Sometimes I just put on the Spotify indie mix. The other day I was
Wow.
working out to like lo-fi jazz hop.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
So I don't know. What do you listen to, Ken?
Whatever works. I mean, probably pop music. I
Do you
think
just do like a Spotify thing, or do you
we
do
have
like
Amazon
an album?
Music.
Okay.
So, but they
But
have
is it just
so
like
many,
a random playlist still?
They have so many curated.
Okay.
You know, you could say, "Oh, I want." Like, I was watching a bunch of Eric Bugenhagen, right? And he's always going absolutely insane to like death metal that I don't, or heavy metal probably that I
The
don't
boobs.
Yeah, and so sometimes it's a heavy metal day. Sometimes it's
Okay.
most of the time you can match the BPM to whatever you're doing. So if you're running, get some pop, get some electronic.
Lady Gaga. I'll just put the
I do
album
like
on.
Lady Gaga.
I
The
was
whole
gonna
Lady
say-
Gaga album is good to work
What
out.
was
I was
that
just gonna say,
one?
do you ever do Britney? But Lady Gaga is kind of like the now Britney.
I'll do if I was gonna do. I wouldn't do pure Britney Spears. I would do like
I would
a
do
90s.
pure Gaga though.
I would
Yeah.
do. I could do pure Gaga, but pure Britney.
What was that
I don't know.
album? What was the last one? Was it
I can't remember what it's called. Normally I would look it up, but I don't have a keyboard.
Is that you?
it doesn't matter, but I ran to that album 5 times a week.
The one before the newest one?
No,
I
the
don't know.
newest
I
one.
don't know what the
Well,
newest
not her
Or the
one
newest
is
one?
because
her
she has
newest
one in
solo
there called
album.
Guess I don't
Jolene.
know feel like
She has one,
too many.
and that's like acoustic stuff.
Yeah, not
and
that. Not that.
I love
Okay.
that one, but you don't work out to
Right.
it.
But not.
I don't know. I've been disappointed in Spotify's classic rock workout playlist. It's very
Yeah.
like not motivating.
I would
It's
find
like
Spotify to
Journey.
not be helpful.
I
in
could
any
do
way.
like AC/DC. Like if I just had a
Right.
AC/DC's greatest hits, let's
Yeah.
rock.
That would work.
I would so we had YouTube Music and then we switched to Spotify.
I switched to Spotify because my freaking work blocked or put YouTube into
Yeah.
restricted
Yeah.
mode, so I couldn't listen to any of my
But I
music.
would recommend. I liked the playlists and the stuff that YouTube Music came up with better than Spotify.
I agree. I think
Spotify's
YouTube.
kind of a hot mess. I
I-
would not recommend it.
Spotify is the bigger platform. I thought YouTube Music did a better job
job.
of making playlists using the algorithm.
And sometimes it'd be different. Spotify every time, if you're like, play
Right.
Christmas music,
Right.
whatever. It's like, oh, we got the same playlist
That's
we played 85 times. You're like, please,
Yeah.
do something different.
We have
Um,
Amazon Music, and it's the same thing. It's like, well, play me Christmas classics, and it's the same playlist.
mhm.
And even if you say shuffle it, it's like, well, there's only 50 or 60 songs on here. And
Yeah.
Well, and I felt like because I got the impression that Google Music, which then turned into YouTube Music,
Yeah.
was not like managed by anybody. It was just like a computer algorithm.
Probably
Is that
is.
every time you asked
It
for
worked
something,
better,
it just
though.
made up a whole new list,
Good.
and
I
it was
liked
all
it.
new
Good.
stuff.
That's what
Yeah.
I liked.
It was,
Yeah.
and I logged into there the other day actually because I was looking for some of the Christmas music we used to listen to.
Ooh, I
And it
should
was like, hey,
suggest
do you want to
some.
listen to this mix, this mix, this
And I
mix,
was
or this
like,
mix?
I
And I was like,
wish.
man, YouTube, you know me so well. Like, I
Yes.
want to listen to all of these. So,
It's way better. It's the algorithm you want, where you're like, you
Huh.
do know
It's
what
so
I want,
good.
and it works good.
I'm
Spotify,
switching back.
every time I've tried to do Spotify,
Spotify sucks.
it sucks. It's not good at trying to figure out what the heck you're saying.
This is, and it's
Pandora's
not like,
not bad. It's still around.
Ooh,
You can still
I
get
haven't
it.
tried.
having done Spotify for a year and having done Google for, 8 years or whatever, I don't
Google, which
like-
is YouTube Music now,
Now it's YouTube
Yeah.
Music. Yeah.
is way better.
I
I
don't
like
like
it.
Spotify. I don't like
Yeah.
it. All right, what's the next question?
I don't understand why it's so popular though. Okay, Board to Play said, "What's your top game of 2021? Board game or video game?"
Ooh.
Board game or video game? Well,
Now
let's.
we can't answer board game
We
yet,
can't because the Board Vengers it's coming up
give you
this
one.
weekend.
I got
Top
an
game
answer.
of 2021.
but Ken, go for it.
Without a doubt, hands down. No, we didn't play that much, right? We played very rarely. It's the Hunt a Killer,
Ooh.
Death of the Dive Bar. I assume the
Oh,
rest are
okay.
that good.
Yeah.
We need to try one of those.
We were just in it for almost 3 hours. And we talked
So
about it
good.
the next day, and we were like, it was just fantastic. It borders
That's-
on not even
I like
being
that.
a board game, but
Yeah, but it's still
It's
a
just a
mystery.
bit-
It's a
Doesn't
yeah.
puzzle.
matter. Still
Yeah.
counts.
I
it's
love
great.
it.
It's great.
We need to try one of those. We actually still have a exit that we started in the summer that we haven't finished.
We need to restart it.
Well, yeah, at this point, but
Murder on the Mississippi or whatever it's called.
But the fact that the Hunt a Killer is like, bigger and crazy, I want to try that because I love the exits and all those. So, board gaming and Madigan. I always thought it was board game Madigan. Clearly, I'm not
gaming
reading
Madigan?
It's the
it.
board gaming Madigan.
I didn't
Who
notice.
we have now met in person.
We met because Jeff's brother and his wife stopped by while we were there.
Oh, nice.
So it was nice to actually meet people that you kind of like see their tiny little icon or, whatever. And all of a sudden you're like, hey, it was you in person.
Hey.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
I'm about to knock over my desk.
Will you be coming to the next Nerd Fest, which I believe is in,
January.
okay, I was going to say February, but January.
Maybe February. I don't know.
We have the email
And I don't know.
somewhere. We're not sure.
We don't know. Maybe.
But there's so many people going to that. I want to.
Guess we should
What's-
go.
I just
what's-
don't know if we'll get to.
What's
So Nerdfest is when they
It's
just
kind of like QuinCon.
it's like QuinCon.
Ah,
They come
okay.
together and play
Got
a
it.
ton of games for a couple
Awesome.
days,
nice.
which is always fun.
Good name.
Can't
Strong.
go wrong
Right
with
on
that.
the money.
Maybe is
Um,
the answer.
And then he has two other ones. But what games are you looking forward to playing the most over the holidays?
Star Wars Rebellion.
Or is Phil coming over? Or
He wants to.
okay, perfect.
All right, I'll play with Phil. You really don't want to play it?
I don't want to play it.
I was hoping I get to play it twice. Once with Phil.
Nope.
All right, Phil it is.
It's too long. It's like hours and hours.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have fun, and you can.
That's fine.
Not have fun.
I'll tile the kitchen. Like, I am fine
There
with
you go.
anything else.
What's your answer, M?
Playing over the holidays?
It better be.
I haven't played Orleans in a while, which I love. If we play with people, I'd love to play Concordia because they haven't played that in forever.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, we could play that on Sunday.
Also, haven't played Arnak in a while, which I really love that game.
It's a great game.
I mean, there's lots of games. There's lots of games.
What's the new one
But
we
I
got?
also love party games. Monikers. Let's throw a party. Let's
have
get
a
crazy.
Monikers party. What's the new one we got where you're running a storefront? Where is it?
Running a
Where did the game
storefront.
go? It's
Merchant's
missing. I
Cove?
can't find it anywhere.
do
No,
you mean
the one that Gareth told us to get.
Brick and mortar?
Brick and mortar.
I haven't read the
yes.
rules. I didn't know
I
we're
want to play
running a
brick and mortar.
storefront.
That's what I want to play.
I do want to learn new games because my main thing is I don't want to learn new games when like we have something to do the next day because I feel like I'm on a time crunch. If we have the holidays, like yeah, we can learn and play and like, oh, we're up late, whatever, like not a big deal.
Right, that's my real answer. I want to play all of our new games that are sitting on the we need to play list.
Picture Perfect we should play with some people
Yep.
too.
Right, we got to play Brick and Mortar. We got to play Great Western Trail. We got to
We
play.
have the Ticket to Ride, the like Christmas edition,
Yeah.
the Nordic one.
I
We should
saw
play
that.
Quinn's
I wanted
games.
that so bad.
I love
so
a
cool.
themed like holiday
Yeah.
game, and that is the closest I can get to Christmas, and so I really want to play that.
That was
one.
you. I
Like,
said I wanted the Polar Express version where it comes with a
Exactly.
little voice box where Tom Hanks yells at you every 30
"All
seconds.
aboard!" Like freaking.
Where's your ticket?
I'm like clipping.
Your ticket says
Yeah. And he's like,
fart less while you're in bed.
Polar Express.
oh my god. You get a ticket at the end of the game. Okay. We might do this one, but the Brewing Gamer.
The Brewing Gamer.
Sorry.
Brewing
Said
Gamer.
Ben.
Ken's a Brewing Gamer.
Ben and
It
I'm gonna do
was.
Ken because you guys obviously went to college
Was.
together. Your favorite memory from engineering school?
Oh,
You
man.
guys have any favorites?
My favorite memory from engineering
Is
school
meeting
is second
Ken.
year when I was in our main chemical engineering class, and after class, me and Justin Bonneville and Jamie, what the heck was her name? We would go study in the
She had
in
the
the
curly hair?
library.
There's like 3 girls.
There were
so
like 3 girls. So when I
describe
asked
what
that,
she looks like.
I'm saying, speaking specifically about one person.
There's
She had
Katie,
curly hair,
there's
right?
Jamie, there's Sarah.
Right.
Like there's like
Yeah, that was it.
there's honestly
and we all agreed we would break up with our boyfriends and girlfriends.
Is this a real
What year
story?
was this?
This is a real story.
What year is this for you?
I was
What?
just trying to make a joke about me, like my favorite
But
school.
what year is this?
This is sophomore year.
Okay.
But my favorite memory is trying
You
to get with a
broke-
different girl
you-
than Emily. That was going to be the joke of
We
this
didn't
story.
even. Well, we probably knew each other, but that's about it.
I panicked. She broke up with her boyfriend, and I didn't break up with my girlfriend, and then she hated me ever
Wuss.
since.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
shit.
wuss.
Boy.
She probably still hates
Big
you.
mistake.
Doy.
We didn't like know. It's not like we were like dating then or something.
She's like runs the Ragnar and like adopted a bunch of kids. She's like
Whoa.
some sort of like yeah.
Yeah, how's that make you feel?
Yeah, and look where you are right,
Right.
now. You're doing a podcast in your basement.
Just a selfish.
Welcome to
Arrogant.
Wayne's World.
When we probably met your sophomore year.
Oh yeah, definitely. You would have met me your sophomore year because
But we didn't date until what would have been so it would have been my freshman year, your sophomore year. We didn't date until it would have been my considered senior year,
right.
and then you were doing
We would have met in 2005 and
I don't know. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
6, right?
6, 5, 6. If
5
it
or
was 6,
6.
then it's
5,
spring
6.
of 6. Fall
Yeah,
of
it would have
5,
been
spring of
spring of
6. I don't know
6.
when you guys came to Michigan
I
Tech.
mean, it was 2005.
Yeah.
And we went to the brick house then. It's when you guys, I specifically remember you guys had the beer pong table upstairs, which we thought was
That
crazy.
was one party that lasted
Exactly.
because the couch got lit on fire and the floors got destroyed.
I just remember how much beer was on the floors, and I was like, "Ooh, this."
I remember
can't go
doing
over
a
well.
keg stand in the living room
Yep.
next to the couch that then later got lit on fire.
So I don't think we have any pictures together for that party, but I have pictures with Cheetah from that party, which I know then you have pictures with him from the same party because he had that stupid giant hat on. You know that was
the foam
yeah,
cowboy hat.
the big
hat.
foam hat. So
Yeah.
I have pictures with him and you do, and therefore we were
Yep.
at the same party. We just probably did not hang out.
Like
Thankfully.
what's the phrase? Something passing in the wind? Like farts passing in the wind.
Do you have any stories you'd like to share about your engineering school experience, Ken?
Well, specifically to engineering, I had access to a foundry
I was
in
gonna
my
say
line of work, or in my studies. So I got to pour some pretty sweet small castings.
Did you make a sword at
Yeah.
one point?
Well, yeah, that was part of the
Right?
Lord of the Rings. Maybe here. Let's culminate my engineering side and my fun side because
exactly.
I have one of each. I was
Unbeknownst to the listeners, Ken's fun.
I can be when the situation requires
That's how
it.
you guys met too.
Yes, we had Lord of the Rings class, and I studied materials science and engineering, and so we had a foundry. We're one of the few schools that had foundries in the bottom floor, and so you'd go down and cast whatever the hell you wanted, pretty much. If you knew the guy, Pat. Hey, Pat, I got to cast something for another class. And so I was doing poorly in Lord of the Rings class because I had never read the books, and everybody there had them memorized back to front. Like,
Oh man.
Police officer pulls you over for
But-
swerving, and he says, recite, the two towers backwards. People in that
Everyone do
class
it?
could do it.
But wasn't it? It wasn't Lord of the
Rhiannon?
Rings. It was like fantasy and fiction or something, right?
It was
Or-
called fantasy and fiction. It was
but
Lord
it
of the
was
Rings
Lord of
class.
the Rings. Okay.
Yeah. And so I had to do a whole bunch of stuff at the end of the semester to recover from the insane quizzes he would give us of books that I didn't read
Like how
and
it's
did not
just-
have time to read
it's just
because
a
I have to
professor
study
that likes Lord of the Rings.
actual hey, between Calc 3 and fiction and fantasy, I'm working on Calc 3. I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm working on Calc
Lord of the Rings
3.
is great.
I remember
but I have to practice
to get ready for the Two Towers test. Two Towers. He called them
unreal.
quizzes, but it
There
was
were
a test.
tests.
I read the whole book in one sitting.
Holy
It was a Sunday. I sat down because you're in college, you don't have anything else to do. I started in the morning, and I just read the whole book.
Isn't that the thing though? Now I would be like,
And then
I got so much time. But back then you were probably like, I
on
don't have
Friday
much
he
time.
said the quiz is going to be on Monday, and on Monday he said, we're going to move it back a few days. And I was like, are you kidding me?
What?
I just read the whole book.
That's every single time I've done that scenario.
But when
And I
it
probably
comes
did
to
poorly on it.
When it comes to studying for a test, that's not how you study for a test, right? If you have a physics test, you don't read the physics textbook page 1 to page 596. You study the relevant materials.
Right.
The point, what I'm griping about is that the class was for people who had memorized these books. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it was how many credits do we need of arts and literature? Like 9 out of our 126 engineering credits.
Yeah, you guys were
And
like
so you took
opposite from
this-
me.
Maybe it was 15 because I had to take a bunch of German too. Anyway, I cast, and is it Anduriel, the Flame of the West, the sword that was broken and whatever?
You reforged the broken sword.
Reforged it. And then a whole bunch of these nerds made fun of me because I cast it out of some aluminum alloy.
Oh my
and
god,
they're
they were like,
it's
that's not what they
accurate
would do
weight.
it. Oh my.
It would really be about 40 pounds. I'm like, I don't think that's accurate. I don't think you could swing a 40-pound sword. And
Even
wow,
if it
yeah, that's
is,
what
I'm
it
not
would be.
doing it.
If it was medieval times, that would be. Yeah, but it's literally magical steel. So I need you to give me a break here. Anyway, I got to be in the class. I did
That
fine.
class. Like
I love that that's how you guys met, though.
I have a
Yep.
well. That's how we became friends because we were definitely
Yes,
acquaintances.
you guys
Same
knew each
thing,
other, but
yeah.
the fact that I like
Knew,
that
and
was the
then
class.
we were
I
just
was
in
in-
over our heads.
I
The
was
two of us.
considerably in over my head. If you weren't in that class, I would have, what's the word, transferred out of it. There's no way.
Well, and
Because I think I got a hold of you. I'm like, hey, do you know what this loser's stuff is about?
Do you know
He's-
what the heck they're talking about?
I was like, I like these movies. Love these movies.
I love these
I
movies
guess
too,
at that
but this
point,
class
all
is
the
about.
movies were out.
This is for people who have read these books 5 times over. And again,
I had never read the books.
nothing wrong with that, but I'm not reading 2 towers in
No,
a
but
day.
it's called fantasy, and I mean that's
See,
different than
right.
Lord of the Rings.
But that's how, like, I couldn't be in a class like that and not be, like, every single thing like that I get, situation like that I get into, I'm like, well, this is a challenge I need to overcome. I have to end this class by being the expert on this
Oh my
subject.
That
God.
class did not seek to teach anyone anything. It sought to
That's
test.
true.
It sought to test nerds in a gladiatorial battle.
That's true.
That's all it was.
Can you
Top
imagine?
nerds.
I had to
know
give a
that-
presentation on the Palantir.
I had to do
You-
2. I had to do
Really?
Orcs and Helm's Deep.
Can you imagine though the teacher? He was probably like, "This is amazing. I am getting paid
It was
Look at
the
these
longest.
test a bunch of college
Look at
students
these
on
little
Lord of
dorks
these
run
little
around.
nerds."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Do you know an orcs?" Like you just can you imagine if it was like Ben for you? If someone said, "I'll pay you to teach Wheel of Time." Like
Oh man, I'm on board.
but do you know what I mean? You'd be like, "This is such a joke."
He would always remind us that his class was the second longest running Tolkien class.
That's true. I
Behind
remember
Michigan
that.
State. Michigan
Which is
State
where they had the tunnels, and students went looking for hobbits in the tunnels.
In
of
the
Michigan
tunnels.
Oh
State.
my
and
god, guys.
I don't know why.
didn't they
and
die or
died.
something?
They
died.
died down there because
Because of the longest running.
I don't know
Lord
what
of
to
the
tell
Rings
you
class.
other than they were
So-
very dumb.
We attended.
I don't know.
This is
Who
why
is
we
like,
chose.
we gotta be down. That makes no
we-
sense.
This is why we chose to attend the second longest running. Lord of the Rings.
right.
Look, as
Live-
somebody who had
live to
read The
tell
Wheel
the
of
tale.
Time and assumed I liked fantasy novels, I signed up for a class called Fiction and Fantasy. I didn't realize it was Tolkien's works, and maybe we'll talk a
Right.
little bit about King Arthur and Beowulf.
Well, it was very. We had to read Beowulf and King Arthur like in the first week, I think.
and
and
then
it
the
was like-
rest was.
And then he was like, anyway, so those are the basis for, and then he would hit the enter key and he would play.
Yeah.
Like so in that sense, yes, we did cover some base material.
Okay. It was just like Peter Jackson teaching the class.
The
at that
thing
point.
That
I
would've been
remember
something.
most about this class, because this was very late into our college careers, taking this class.
That's true. That's true.
I saw somebody that I remember from freshman orientation who at that time was a man and now was a
That
woman.
time-
And that's
Oh!
totally fine. But the thing that was
I thought you were
off-putting,
gonna say like boy to a man, so that's why.
Oh.
not a boy to
wow.
a man, it was a boy to
Yeah,
a girl
okay.
or a
Boys
man
to
to a
men.
woman,
Yeah,
whatever
not
you want to call it.
girl. What are you talking
Whatever you
about?
want to do. But the
Whatever you want to do. I feel like you're digging it.
here's the off. No, here was the weirdest thing about this, is that, when it was him, her name was Peter or something like that, like
Yeah. What do you change it to?
Rhiannon.
like it's a song from
Okay.
who-
I thought it
not
was gonna be
ABBA.
like similar to Peter.
Rhiannon. What is that? Who it's
I don't know.
Fleetwood Mac have a
Oh.
song named Rhiannon or Rhiannon or whatever.
Maybe that's why
Yeah.
then.
Right, but
That's
the,
what it
the
was.
teacher always said Rhiannon, and I was like,
Yes, that's right.
he
I
always
remember
said
that.
it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And that person sat,
Ah.
and she sat right in the front of the class.
She's
Yeah.
probably like, "Fuck you! I just changed my name, and I do not
Yeah.
want to hear this shit."
That's just what
But
I
I don't
remember.
know how to pronounce it either, right?
And neither
had
do
never-
I.
That is
I
a
had
very
never
tricky
heard
name.
that song until
And he
couple
was
years
like
ago.
totally, like, there wasn't anything awkward or weird about
No.
it. He
No,
just
he's
didn't
just
know how to
got it
say the
wrong.
name.
he just got it wrong. Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Yep.
That's a tricky name, though. I thought you were gonna say. I was trying to think of a name that would be like the the feminine version, but
It wasn't
Peter,
like that. It wasn't like his name was
No.
Ryan and then
There
her
was
name
no
was
Rihanna or
Ryan.
something.
And
Like
there was
Peter
no
is not
ill will.
you don't
He
check
just,
it
Right.
like
change
any
it.
old professor, he went with whatever he thought of first and never changed it after that.
The
No,
whole
that's
semester.
all.
That's
I had
classic professor.
for one of my art histories, because I had many. One of them was he was a guy who his first language was Chinese, and I don't know if I wouldn't call his second language English. I would just say he knew Chinese, which is great, but
Yeah,
a
my
li-
Calc 3 professor.
a little tricky when you're trying to
Calc
learn
3.
other things. Where
Then
he
I had to
would,
retake
I
it.
feel like we were playing charades during the whole thing, where he would be like, he would show a picture and then he would kind of start like, he would doing like some sort of charade,
Yeah.
and you go, everyone would be like, wheel, ball, wheel, 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 and we would
Derivative.
all start yelling, and then
Derivative.
he'd be like,
Right.
and he would point at someone where you go, oh,
Third integral.
it's called the
yeah.
exactly.
It's Calc 3. It's the third integral.
Right.
Where all of a sudden everyone would yell out, "Is it called the girl with the wheel?" That, and you would point at them and you go,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, that's what
Are
it's
you
called."
talking about spherical coordinates? And you would
Yes.
Yes, dude,
That's
the
Calc 3,
clap and the
baby.
point.
Yeah.
Yes,
And it's like,
that's what it
oh
was.
my god! Like I don't doubt your intelligence, but
Exactly, that was the thing. I was like, I bet you know so much, but the fact that you can't like communicate this to us in the right way is so difficult for you. I cannot imagine being on that side of things and being like, I could tell you 1,000 things about this, but I just do not know
Well,
how
and
to
it's-
do it in the right way. Like,
It's both ways. As a teenager, you're
Right.
like
you're a
not
douche.
good at understanding. You're
Right.
not. You don't have the capacity to sort of like understand him the way that probably his colleagues do.
right.
Oh, they're probably like, he's a genius. And instead we're
Yeah.
like, ugh, I can't
Right.
believe this crap.
Right.
Which,
You don't have enough experience to even like understand somebody with a heavy accent or who can't
Yes.
necessarily
Right.
speak your language well.
it was the same way, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it, but he was the nicest guy ever, because I remember I had to, I don't know, change classes or do something, and he was so nice about it. And once I learned that, I was like, I really like you as a teacher. Once he helped
Well,
me
that was
out in
like I
game.
remember the Calc 3 guy. Like I had nothing against the dude except like I
It just made it tricky
I
for
can't
me.
follow it all.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. And so then but then I had a Calc 2
yeah.
teacher who was the opposite side of the spectrum, who was a tenured
Ugh.
professor who like, man, here's a whatever. I'll see you
Yeah.
guys later. And that guy
I
got
got stuff
fired.
to do.
Yeah. Or
Well,
he
that
got-
is a frustrating thing.
He was-
You have someone who, you
Yeah.
can't quite understand, but you're like, I feel like you could tell me so much,
yeah.
but you can't quite
Somebody who
get
wants
it.
to teach
Who
versus
wants to,
somebody
yeah.
who
Someone who's like, I just got to finish out these 6 months and I can be
will
done.
not, who
Yeah.
chooses not to versus can and wants to, but you know,
Exactly.
I think, Ken, we
Ugh.
both had the same Calc 2 and Calc 3 professors.
sure.
Like, not
Probably.
necessarily at the same time, but you're like
Probably a year
describing
apart.
them exactly.
Calc
Probably.
2 was worse with the guy who was tenured and didn't care. Calc 3 was easier with the guy who didn't speak a word of English,
Right.
but wanted to teach it to you.
Yeah.
I agree. I remember Calc 2, I was like, what are you even talking about? Because you're not teaching us. And
He's
then
just talking.
Yeah.
He's just up there.
whatever.
Anyway,
a
it's
vector, and
lunchtime.
then we'll derivative, and then we'll
Yeah,
just
that's the
See
whatever.
worst.
ya. Yep, he sucked.
Yeah, good enough.
He sucked. I think he failed enough people to where they pulled him out of teaching because they can't fire
Oof.
him. So he got like shelved, which is
Ew.
probably what he was going for.
Literally.
Yeah, he probably
They just put him away.
Yeah, no, they put him in an office
in
and
like a locker and just kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Archived.
because my younger brother, was a year behind us, and you know
True.
I had heard from you and Brett and Cheetah, guys that were a year ahead of me in math. I think Cheetah was a year ahead of me.
No,
He was
Cheetah
pretty-
was our age, I think.
But he was a year ahead of me. He's a smart dude.
Oh,
when
okay.
when he needs to be, he's a smart dude. And you guys are like, all right, watch out for so and so. And I was like, all right, well, I don't have any choice. I have to take him. And
Yeah.
it sucked. And I told Rob, like, hey, you need to. And I think somewhere between like the first 10 weeks or something, Rob got a new teacher because they put that guy in the the morgue.
The
They
slammer.
froze him. They froze him.
Right. He's a frozen head.
He's done.
Yeah.
Cryo freeze. They'll let him out in a few years.
Anyway, sorry. That went
right.
way off.
Man, we
Wait,
got
the rails.
sidetracked there.
Hold on. The last question, really quick, which we don't have to go into great detail, but
Okay.
Board Gamey Mad again, Just Brother, was also saying, what are you guys streaming? I need new shows.
Well, that leads
I thought this
perfectly into
leads
what
into
we've been
the next
watching.
one.
Oh my goodness.
But do you guys have any specific shows that you are currently like
Not shows.
watching?
But I'm not a show person. Oh, wait. No, Hawkeye's fine. It's fine.
Oh, we haven't
It's on
watched
Disney
it
Plus.
yet. I think I
It's-
want to though.
It's fine. It's Avengers stuff. It's the
Okay.
most. Oh, how do you say? There's not a lot of threat involved. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's
There's not a big bad or something?
Well, there is, but it's very. I don't know. Maybe we go get pizza right now. Why don't we, like? It doesn't seem that they're doing a lot.
Is that
For-
aliens coming out of
For
the sky
better
with
or worse,
giant
it's
sea whales?
very kind of
Sky
like
whales.
whatever, you know.
Okay. I feel like
I
that's
don't know.
Hawkeye's kind of.
It's his
though,
thing,
right?
and the new girl who is going to
Cash.
replace him.
Be him or whatever.
She's very young and well, she's like her thing is she's young and she's a
She's young.
fan. She's
Yikes.
thick.
she's a fanboy
Stop.
of
What is
him.
happening to you right now?
Ryan's wearing off on me.
Stop it then. Ryan, sorry, we're not
Not-
hanging out anymore. if
She's a
this is gonna
fan
happen.
of him, right? So it's a lot of her following him,
Okay.
and he doesn't want to do any of it, and she just likes being around him. So it's a lot of like stalling for time.
I like
and
that. Like,
I don't
like
know.
that.
It's fine. She's
I'll
good.
have to
He's
watch
boring. He's always been boring.
We'll have to check it out.
I think
Yeah.
that's his thing. Boring.
That is
family
his
guy.
thing.
Right.
I'm grumpy
I'm-
old
I'm
Hawkeye.
really, I'm simple. Like
Right.
super. I live on
I-
a farm. or
I just
whatever.
want to.
Yeah. That whenever in movies someone who's like special is like, I just want to be normal, and you want to be like, fuck you for once.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
it's a
sorry
lot
that
of- Boo hoo! I killed a lot of people. You should feel sorry for me.
you're like,
Anyway,
Good
Yeah.
riddance. That's what I say.
good
Are you
riddance to
Ebenezer
old rubbish.
Scrooge?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
Bah
of
humbug.
which,
Real quick,
oof.
I had a dream last night. I told Ben about this.
Whoa! All right.
Just because it was we were
Look,
back at Tech.
I don't like this sort of slander.
We were back at Tech, but Ben and I were dating, and all of a sudden I heard about how you two. I heard
Right.
about how you
Our
two
study group.
were sleeping with this one girl, and you guys were like,
Whoa!
you guys were like, yeah, I don't know,
At
like,
different times, I hope.
yeah, but you guys were like, I
'Cause-
don't know, like
yeah,
when you're
yeah.
gone, and I was like, excuse me, and all of a sudden you guys were like, it's not a big deal, and
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
You're
don't get-
here.
and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you two? And
No,
you guys
you
were
were
like, it's
gone.
just
Yeah,
when
I
you
think-
like
Right.
leave.
You didn't.
Yeah,
What do you
exactly.
expect?
And I was
Like-
like, does Megan know? Like, all of a sudden I was super pissed. And you guys were like, it's
Whoa.
when you go. It's not a big deal.
Was this like you wake up and you're like irate, mad at him, or
I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? Right away.
Yeah,
That's my
right.
word.
hey, wake up, you asshole?
You know how I get.
Where you, it's like when you wake up from a scary dream and you're scared, but I woke up and I was
Right.
pissed because it was from that dream.
Well,
But I
it's
just-
just a dream, I assure you.
I just thought
Right,
it was like,
Ben?
it was you two.
Right, Ben?
Wink, wink.
It
Everybody's
didn't
like,
happen, right?
No, this is.
you
this
guys
is
are code naming right now.
nothing
You're
Right.
like doing weird
but
symbols.
a dream.
Is
Antlers,
this your-
antlers,
Is this your symbol for something?
antlers.
Antlers. I touch ear pull.
Rudolph is on the way.
Okay.
All right, we're back. You know, let's keep talking about what have we been watching. I think on the last episode, maybe I mentioned that I kept hearing from multiple sources that the Netflix animated series Arcane was good. The League of Legends show that covers some of the characters. Now, I've never played League of Legends. I've never played any MOBA. I haven't played Dota. I haven't played League of Legends. Not into that sort of thing. But I like animes and animated shows, and I really liked Invincible. And I watched the whole series.
Wow. Okay, give it to us.
And?
As somebody who has also never played or had an interest in it. League of Legends, I mean.
I thought that this show started out really, really good.
Which
the first
one? What's
5
this one
episodes. It's about
Real quick.
Must be about some of the characters from the game. Like the development of one of the like villain characters from the game and some of the hero characters from the game, I'm assuming.
Is that the one with the girl and her little sister?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
There's a girl and her little sister, and they're like street rats, and there's like an upper city and an under city.
And she's like, I'll help you with your nightmares, but then the nightmare comes true, it's a bad guy. Like that kind of thing. Right?
I don't know if that happens, but there's definitely like, you know, there's some stuff that happens where the sisters get separated, and one of them essentially turns into a hero and one into a villain.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know it was a villain. But that's what
The
I think the preview is about that.
Okay,
kind of
well,
thing.
the first part when they're like kids and stuff, when it's far removed from the eventual video game characters they become, I thought the show was super interesting. Where the writers had to make stuff up. How do they become the characters they become? Then I would say the last couple of episodes where they show them being the video game characters, and all of a sudden you're like,
Where it has to fit into what already exists.
yeah,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, like it goes from this like kid who like, how did she become this sort of evil villain to like, she's Jinx and she's crazy and blows stuff up. It's like,
That's just what she does. Press triangle and circle to
right? It's 9
Slam.
episodes. I still overall really, people said this
It was
is
good?
great, and you know, it did not let me down. I very much enjoyed it. I
Alright.
watched it
right.
just,
Okay.
like straight through, essentially over like a week. I mean, it was
Okay.
a very good time watching that show.
Okay, so we saw one movie in theaters, did you guys also see the Disney movie in theaters?
Encanto?
Yeah.
Encanto?
We didn't
Yes.
watch that in the theater.
Yes, we did.
You must have. You had to
Christ.
have.
Like, yes,
We saw
did.
that in the theater?
Yes.
It's only in theaters.
I got us when we were on our couch.
We went
watching
like
it.
on Thanksgiving Day because we had Thanksgiving the
Oh,
week before.
hey, we totally did.
My.
Well, that
Okay.
was like 2.5 weeks ago now. So
Right.
I
How am I
get it.
supposed to remember that far?
I
Two
get
and
it.
a half
Hey,
weeks, so you're
That's
done.
my max for remembering it.
You're like,
also.
oh my gosh. What'd you guys think?
Loved it. I thought it was very fast paced.
I like
And
it.
it if I had a complaint, it lacked a little bit of the I don't want to say maturity, but you know, like I think of the last two were Moana
Mhm.
and Frozen. And
Yeah.
Moana in particular is exceptional.
Moana
like-
is like one of those movies that I don't know why everyone doesn't talk about it. That is one of the
It's
best.
probably
movies
one of it's top
ever.
3
Like-
Disney movies ever made.
It is so
I
good.
don't
where-
understand.
The best part is whenever I hear people on like podcasts or whatever, like adults talk about it, and they'll be like, so I just cried through the entire
Yeah,
Moana
The
movie.
whole movie you can
That
cry
is-
through.
It is so good though. Like that, the music, everything about that. Like if the kids
But
are
you-
like, "Can we play that music?" I'm like, "Yes, we can."
Yeah,
Right, you
I'll be in the
could-
bathroom crying into the toilet.
but you could also watch it
so
and
good.
be like super happy
And have fun.
like
Yes,
having fun
yes,
the whole time.
Yes,
Like,
but I
yes.
just mean like it's so well done that you were honestly like almost to be like, I
really
should
good.
be about
Yeah.
to cry. Like it is
So
so good.
What
but-
I'm getting at is Encanto lacked a little bit of that, like self-reflection and maturity, and the sort of the moral of the story was a little ambiguous.
yeah.
I wasn't
kind of
totally
till the end. Yeah.
even at the end. It was like,
Even-
well, what did
Mhm.
we learn? I'm not totally sure.
That the
I do
grandma
agree with that.
needed to like.
Like,
Yeah,
not
but
be such
It's
a-
like the main character didn't learn a lesson.
I don't wanna
Other
spoil it
people
because
in
I
the
think-
family.
Right. That is.
Did.
I don't want to spoil
Yes.
it because I think you should see this. If you
It is
have,
still
if
really
you have
good.
kids, if you like Disney movies, it's great.
It is good, especially
Um,
compared to old Disney movies.
it is weird
those are like
because
I saw a guy and I fell in love.
yeah,
And that's
the
it.
people who learn the lessons are everyone but the main character, which I guess is a
I think
cool.
she kind of learns
she
about
does-
herself a little bit, but not as much as the others.
Right. I don't. It's hard
Yeah.
to talk about. I guess I don't know. Anyway, I think it's great.
I thought it was good.
Mhm.
I liked
It's
it a
not
lot.
a masterpiece. The soundtrack. I want to see it again. I would see it again if I had the
Yeah.
opportunity.
I did think the
soundtrack's
soundtrack
great.
was good, but I think it's one of those that like the more you listen to it, the more you enjoy
Yes.
it.
Yes. The first
at
time
first
it's
you're kinda like-
very. It's kind of intense.
It's
Yeah.
different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's stop that.
Even actually the first song, if you're like having a hard
Oof,
time with the
It's
first
a
song,
lot. Yeah.
it sets the tone though, right? It
Yep.
comes at you
Yes.
hard and fast and like
Yep. I
can
agree
we
with
watch
that.
that
Right.
part again?
Where you're like, I don't quite understand. Then they're on to the next song, and you're like, hold
Yeah.
up, let me just.
Yeah.
And then they're on to the next
Well,
one.
and
Yeah.
the songs weren't like catchy. They weren't like melodically catchy in that I
They're
was
more
singing
like-
them after
It's
the
more
movie.
like a musical.
Yeah, it's
They're
like a
telling
theater
the-
musical. Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
if we go back to Moana, like, well, you already know where she's at when you get
Mhm.
to the song, and it's a kind of it's talking about what already happened and where we need to be.
Right.
This is just it's just the story, but now it's song.
Yeah.
I could like
And-
sing the Moana songs to you right now, but
Yeah.
I don't know the songs from this
I don't know the
movie.
songs from this
Oh,
either.
this one
They're
though
good.
would take a while. I do enjoy it though. I wouldn't mind like rewatching, and I do think it's a good one for kids. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I had a good time. I
You
did.
didn't even know you were there. So.
I remember watching it. I just don't remember where I
I-
was when I
I
watched
loved it. Don't remember it, but it was a good.
It was
Yeah.
probably great.
I bought
It
those nice theater seats.
The VIP seats. Yeah,
Yes.
we leaned back. Now I remember.
because he fell asleep.
Yeah,
That's why.
look at you.
we had
Nice.
somebody else's kid with us also, so I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh,
I
no.
intended to when I went into it, but that first song gets popping, and boy, you are not allowed to sleep during this
Nope.
movie.
No.
Mm-mm.
Anyway,
But
good stuff.
This is a good one. Oh, we watched Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
I'm very curious. What do you think?
Well,
So
okay, if somebody says to you an NPC from Grand Theft Auto Online realizes he's in a video game, you would go,
And he
that
tries to
can't
change
possibly
it."
be good.
Right.
And
Man.
it was much better than the
It's
synopsis.
better than you would think. I'll
It's better
give you
than you would
that.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like I watched it on a plane, and this is a great plane movie.
okay.
This
It
is
is
a
a-
great plane movie.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Would
I
I have
was
watched it
hoping
at
for
home?
more, though.
I mean, it
What were you
just
hoping for, though?
it
It's
A little more
just-
comedy or something. There was nothing to it.
it just stayed above like
Yeah.
high water, just barely.
And
It just
even
kinda,
it being like the comedy of like crazy characters are made and this and that, it was kind of like.
You're right. You're right.
If someone said, "Should I
just-
watch it?" I would say no.
I agree.
Would you say
yeah,
yes?
I would agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should,
I mean, like it's.
I think anybody could turn this on and watch it and have a decent time. But if somebody was like, "Should I watch it?" I would
No.
say, "No, you
Nah.
don't need to watch that."
I would say it's
If
a
you
very
got
neutral.
nothing else to do, sure.
Sure.
Right?
If it's on,
you're on a
You're not
plane,
going to have a bad time.
But I don't
watch
think
it.
I was like.
If you're trapped on a plane with nothing to do,
I
And
don't
I
think
had
I was like
fun. Don't get me
smiling or like
wrong.
laughing really though. I was kind of just like
it had its
Eh.
moments. It's very, you know what it is.
occasionally it did.
It's just the Lego movie, but live action.
right? Yeah, that's true.
Hmm
And the Lego
Exactly.
movie is better.
Oh, wait, that's
Go-
totally what I thought.
Go
Yes,
watch
I.
the Lego movie.
Oh my god, this is exactly what I was thinking. When it started, it's like the same morning, and he
It's
does
the
this, and he's
same
always
setup.
happy. I was like, this is
Yeah.
a Lego movie. But halfway through, I thought the same thing. I'd rather be watching the Lego movie.
It was exactly the Lego movie. You're right.
That's what it is.
Yep. Yep.
But
Same
better.
thing.
Or no, the Lego movie's better.
It
Sorry.
has a nice spoilers.
Yeah,
It has a
spoilers.
nice friend of the show, Channing Tatum makes an appearance.
Oh,
Right,
that's
yes,
From
friend of
our-
the show.
Oh
From
my
the
god, can we
Tilas.
eventually get him on the show, guys?
But
We'll
even
be like,
he's
we
kind
hated when you were a werewolf.
he's just kind of in it, and it's not
very
really.
weird.
It's supposed. I think it was supposed to be a funny cameo, and it's not.
Not?
And
Yeah,
it's strange.
it's like really awkward.
He's just kind
more.
of a. And then what's the? I love Taika Waititi. He was the bad guy in this. He's awful. He's
He-
unbearable
He's,
Right.
as the bad
Yeah.
guy.
It's when you
the
like
game
really
developer?
overdo the
Yeah,
character where you're like, nobody actually does that. Like that's not a real. It was very.
he was my least favorite.
Well,
Some
it's
of the
just like-
supporting, Jodie Comer and who's the
I don't
the
know the guys'
guy
names.
that are in the real world.
I don't know
Those
their
two
names.
are good, right?
They're good,
There
but
is
I
a-
hate that like their nicknames are like Keys and like
Oh, you're talking about Steve from
Steve from Stranger Things,
Stranger
But I
Things.
don't know his
and
his
Jodie
name.
Comer. I don't know
The
her
other guy
character's
is
name.
from what's her name runs a marathon. Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I remember
Yes.
that.
He's the
Yeah.
Is that him?
He becomes the boyfriend, I think.
Yep, I think
in
so.
that movie.
That's a good movie.
With
Oh,
Jessica
yeah.
Lange. I don't remember exactly what.
Forgot about that movie.
Brittany runs a
Yes,
marathon?
Brittany runs a marathon.
Yeah.
I think it's
Mhm.
on
Could
Amazon.
literally be any name. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. He's the one who becomes a boyfriend, or he's like the friend,
Right.
or
'Cause
whatever.
They're co-squatting some house. That's a good
Yeah.
movie. I like
That's a
that
pretty
one.
good movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Remember?
Right.
He's the one
Yes.
who's
Now I
like,
remember.
What is so wrong with my life? Like, what the hell? And then-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's good.
Mhm.
He's much better in that than he is
Yeah.
in Free Guy.
Yeah,
But in-
that's true.
In Free Guy is like, let me just hack in quick.
Yeah, he's very like,
And you're
what's
like,
up? My
"Come
name's
on."
Cypher.
all the stuff outside of the
hate
game
that.
world is pretty lackluster, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Well, them just being like, we made a game, and you're like, first of all, I want to be like, you guys look like you're both 22, so I highly doubt you made your own game.
Also, if the thing they got wrong is if everybody loves your online video game, you'd never make a new game again.
You would never ever turn it off.
If they're really trying to
That doesn't
trying to
make
like
any sense.
make
You would
fun of
sell an
Rockstar here
Yeah,
and GTA Online, they
you would just
as-
re-release it.
once GTA Online got popular, they never made another GTA again. They really didn't.
Yeah, I don't understand what they were trying to say.
So
Or,
you-
like, if people love it, that's I don't.
Right.
Yeah,
Like I
Anyway.
kind of hate what these
So,
big video
in
game
ge-
companies have become, but
yeah. That's
they're
a
not
different
like
story.
they're in the movie.
That was that one though.
That's a pass. That's a pass because
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
if you want to see a Ryan Reynolds,
I was gonna
joint,
say, Ken, you were like, you love
Mhm.
Ryan Reynolds these days.
I'm not a big fan. There's a
Loves Ryan Reynolds.
Big
Started
fan.
with the Green Lantern.
right. Never seen it actually. Maybe we should do that for.
Me either.
I
Ooh, there we go.
I watched it once.
Maybe we should see
one
that.
time. Wasn't
Is that the one?
think
He married
Ryan Reynolds
her
that's
Green
from that
Lantern.
movie,
he
right?
met, yeah, I met Blake Lively. Is that her name?
I think
Okay, that's
so.
the next D list.
That's
So
it.
see that I find the problem with that movie is more just Green Lantern is stupid.
Look,
Yeah,
are we gonna
it's
watch
hard.
Green Lantern or Green Hornet with Seth
He-
Rogen?
But
Ugh.
ugh.
So Green Lantern it is. Sounds like.
Okay, I'll take Ryan Reynolds and we'll just. I just hate that he can like make up anything with a ring, and it'll always be stupid stuff. Like there's a bad guy, and he's like roller
Right.
coaster.
I
and
make
you're
a
like,
hammer.
Yeah.
And
and it's like
but I
a
don't
giant
hit-
hammer
I
from
don't
a
hit
circus.
him with the hammer. I hit
Ugh.
the fire extinguisher and it sprays him.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
And
no,
you're like,
Excellent.
I
I
got an
can't wait.
idea.
seal him in a block of concrete.
Good.
Yeah, done. Like instant.
Make him
No,
explode.
I make a block
Turn
of
It was,
concrete that I use to build a dam that I block up the
Right.
water in
That's
this
what
pipe
it's
with.
like. It's
Right.
so stupid.
It overfills
I just remember
and then
in
fills
the
up this
movie-
bucket which falls on his head.
In the movie, he does like a roller coaster for the bit, and you're
Really?
like, why
Ugh.
would you do a roller coaster?
I can't wait.
We should do that. We should do
We
that.
can do
That's
that.
right
We
up
can
our
do that.
alley. Anyway,
Okay.
if you want to see a Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan Reynolds joint.
which, as we've noted, I can tolerate 1 or 2 movies from him a year
One more, apparently.
because he just plays himself. It's just a sarcastic
Right?
son of a bitch,
It's
which is
just him.
fine,
Yeah.
but there's a limit on that, right?
Just
Red
like the Notebook.
Notice, Red Notice. He wasn't in The Notebook.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
different guy.
much more talented
Also,
actor.
I will take
If-
Ryan Gosling over
Yeah.
any Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
scenario.
Close enough.
Right,
No,
or
it's
Red
not.
Notice on Netflix is an actually pretty good spy adventure comedy, goofy.
Okay.
Okay.
Ryan
That's
Reynolds,
with
The
The
Rock,
Rock,
Gal
right?
Gadot.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds is an art thief, and The Rock is investigating him. The Rock says he's from the FBI. He's working with Interpol. They're chasing down Ryan Reynolds. They catch him. They use him to catch this other art thief named the Bishop, I think. And then it just kind of keeps going. It becomes.
This sounds fun.
It is fun. That's
seen
how I would
previews
describe this
for it,
movie.
yeah.
It starts like a Ocean's 11. It transfers to like a Bond-ish, Bond-esque James Bond
Bondage?
thing. Not bondage, right? That's what I. It goes hard
Bondage,
bondage
that's
for a
good. I
weird
like-
8 minutes.
I want to
and then
watch this.
Yeah.
and then it
Grab
becomes
my-
like Indiana Jones, though. So it really goes all over the place. But it's
Okay.
great. They're all good in it. Ryan Reynolds is third wheel, kind of.
Well,
So
that's probably
he's
a good
not,
thing.
especially coming off of Free Guy, like you don't want him taking the lead again necessarily. It's a good movie. Watch it. It's on
Okay.
Netflix.
So you're
It's free.
telling me I could watch Red Notice, but instead I have to spend a night watching The Green Lantern?
Yes. Yes. That's exact. Wow. It's
Dang it.
it's Ryan Reynolds week here at Date Night Dice.
Ryan Reynolds, fan of a friend of the Dice Tower,
Friend of
or
the show.
Day Night Dice.
Him
The
and
Dice
Channing
Tower,
Tatum.
we're talking
Yeah.
about. He could,
What's happening?
I don't know. It's
If we
I'm
can
getting-
get Channing Tatum and Ryan Reynolds on,
On the
I
show.
will be.
Man.
Oh my god! What do we do when
wouldn't-
Ryan comes on?
I'll
Tell
pay
me
for the
like his
1080p
shit?
StreamYard if we can get them on here.
They're both, the problem is they're both talented and professional enough to go back and listen to a few episodes and realize
They
that
go,
I don't
"Fuck
like
you."
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. And he's just going to come in here and eat me alive.
But he's
And
the
I'll
kind of
just-
guy who
And he'll be
would-
like, "Guess what? I'm married to Blake Lively, and
Right.
I have plenty of money." Yeah, exactly. And we're like, "I'm sorry
Cool.
that
Cool.
we're losers." and-
Anyway,
Yeah,
have you seen Encanto?
exactly.
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh my gosh. So we watched those. We also watched for Christmas movies. We haven't watched much, but we did watch the Muppets Christmas Carol,
It's a good one.
which is my favorite
Christmas
ever.
classic.
And Ken, you finally watched that one this year.
I've never seen it, and I'm sorry. I'd like to issue a public apology. This is immediately top tier Christmas movie.
Yes.
And that we're talking about never saw it as a kid, never saw it
Never.
as a teen.
Yeah.
No nostalgia, no sentimental value
Mm.
talking. This is excellent. This is the best
Yes.
version of A Christmas Carol
Right.
that you can watch.
I'm so happy you're saying this. I watched it when I was little, so I have that like.
No,
well,
no,
every
this,
Christmas
like
we watch it. This one is so good. First of all, Michael Caine's in it. He's like one of the
you,
best actors
you have Michael
ever.
Caine holding the ship together.
well,
And
and
then you have
he's
Gonzo.
Gonzo at playing
acting.
Charles Dickens.
He's
Rizzo as his sidekick. I don't see anything wrong with any of this so far.
Rizzo. I watched this movie, and then because all of my devices are connected and all of my devices are listening to me at all times, YouTube recommended like, "Hey, here's why Muppets Christmas Carol is the essential Charles Dickens movie." And all,
Okay.
and so I went and watched 45 minutes of that and stuff, and like, there's quotes of Michael Caine getting on board, and he's like, "I'm gonna play this 100% straight. This is a Shakespearean performance." I like, and you see it, right?
Yes.
It's
It is
it's
not like a
100%
joke for him. It is
it's not a Muppets movie.
100%. Yeah.
it's
you
just
right. You see him quoting lines from the book. You can tell
Yeah.
he is saying the thing Scrooge says
Yep.
in the book, and then you have Rizzo the rat making a joke of the whole
About
thing.
like jelly beans. Yeah.
but
It's fantastic.
there was a YouTube video I watched, and they very smartly 90% of the humor comes from Gonzo and Rizzo, who are not in the movie, not in the
Yeah.
story,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So you have a narrator and his sidekick who can make jokes and be silly and be Muppets. But the rest of the movie is 100% straight. It's
Yeah.
just puppets.
It's so
Yeah,
good though.
yeah.
It's
It's
so
so
good.
good.
Like,
it really is.
I was shocked. I think I watched it a second time. I'm trying to get the kids to watch. I'm like, watch
It's
this.
so
This is good shit.
good.
And they won't.
So the only thing is in the new one it's on Disney, right?
Yes.
Every version that I can find in the modern day
Are you gonna
has
say what
one
I'm
of the
saying?
songs cut out.
Yes, when we
What
were little,
song?
there was a song. So when he goes back and he's working at like a bank, he's in his 20s or whatever.
When he
Yeah.
works for Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, and he's with the
Fozziewig.
I don't know what
Fozziewig,
his
yeah.
I don't know
And
what the
he has a
girl's
girlfriend.
name is.
Yeah.
And so she sings a song about how the love is lost because all he cares about
Yes.
like is money. But it's like a 5-minute song of her
Oh,
singing this,
man.
and he's like crying and all this. But instead, in the movie now, she's like, "The love is gone," and they're
And
like,
then she
"And
walks
done."
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
So in the original, she sings the
There's
song
a big song
to
there.
and they like go through all these things and they do all that, and then but they like cut it out, which I'm not quite sure why.
Why?
It's weird because the melody of the love was lost.
They sing at
song,
the end, but
at the
they
end,
Yeah.
sing
it's the same melody, but they sing
like the love is found or
the
something.
love is found.
Yeah.
and he's like at the table with
and they're
Bob
like
Cratchit,
the love,
and it,
yeah,
the
exactly.
love is found, and that's the
it's the same thing though.
it concludes
Oh.
the melodic like
yeah, so
story,
I don't know why
but they cut
it out.
the song out that starts
Why
it.
did they cut it?
But
Huh.
it's,
I don't know. It's
yeah,
really
the
it's
girlfriend,
super sad.
It's
I
the
remember
girlfriend singing, and then he's like crying because she's essentially breaking up with him, and
But
she's
that's
like,
the point,
"Sorry
though,
that you."
right?
Exactly.
I mean,
It's-
it's a like I don't know what the word. It's a sad story. The
Yeah.
right.
end-
right?
It's the
The
whole reason
end-
why Scrooge is a Scrooge.
And
Yeah, that's one of the
only
main
reason the
things,
end is
right?
good is because the rest is like a nightmare. It's multiple nightmares in a
But-
row.
So I don't know why they cut
Huh.
that. It was a long song, but I still don't know why they didn't even just like cut part of the song or something. I don't know, but yeah, that's one of the things that's different. But that's the only thing.
Huh.
But that was weird when we watched it this
Why
time. I
did
was like,
they cut- what's it called?
The
Love
love
is
is gone. I
Gone?
think is what the
I don't know.
song was
We'll have
called.
to dig into it.
They cut the love is gone. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll report in later.
I'm sure. I
All
used to
right.
have it on VHS, so I mean, I know it was
That's
there
true.
at some point.
We are running short on time. Is there anything else you've been watching that you're dying to talk about?
Wheel of Time.
Is there anything
Let's-
you've been watching that you're dying to talk about?
You know
Yeah.
what? Let's finish the season, and then let's come around. Let's do another
Okay.
spoiler-heavy
Fair. That's
bonus
fair.
episode where we talk about season 1 of The Wheel of Time.
The one thing I want to say, because we've had like some people who haven't read the books, and they're like, "Do we have to read the books?" You do not have to read the books to watch
Absolutely
it.
not.
The show is 100% different.
No. And if you
Um,
and if you haven't read the books, you should watch this show.
It's really good.
well,
Yeah,
that's generous, but
I feel like it's if you haven't read the books,
it
it's
would
very
be-
It's
it's
very,
exciting.
like, it's very Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones.
Yep.
So I mean, if you like any of those styles, it's like that.
Although, man, I did like the last episode, so it
Yeah.
ebbs and flows just like any other show.
I think it's
right?
just a hard start to be like, this is a world, this is what's happening, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Like those first episodes are always tricky to be like, we need to teach you everything and all these,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like it finally got to a point where like, okay, I understand the world, I understand what's going on, let's get on the journey now. And we're finally to that.
Yeah.
The way the last episode ended, so that's episode 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Was a complete surprise, and I have no idea what's going to happen.
But that's why I enjoy it. It's different from the books. You do not have to know the books because it's so different that even having read the books,
Yeah.
they change it so much. I go, I don't know what's going to happen, which
Exactly.
I enjoy.
Right. If
I
it
want
were
that.
if it were the books but just slightly off, you'd probably
It'd
be
be-
more disappointed.
Yes.
Here
Right.
Here we're
No.
running parallel
Yeah,
but very different,
exactly.
right? And
I
think
100% agree with that.
I think that's the way you adapt something.
You would have
think-
to.
I don't know how else you pick up this story.
I mean, like, do you know how disappointed you'd be, Ben, if it was almost exactly the same but not quite?
I think it just doesn't work as well in the first book as it will for the rest of the series. I think the rest of the series can be
Okay.
adapted this
Oh,
way, and
yeah.
it'll be like, wow, I'm so glad they did it this way. That first book, the story is so small and specific and pointed, which makes it a wonderful book. The Eye of the World, the first book of the Wheel of Time, is a great book no matter
It
who
is.
you are.
It is.
Yes.
It's really great. Now, is the series overall great? I don't know, but the that first book is amazing, and so
It is confusing at first for some things. I
It's
did
hard
read.
it's a tough pill to swallow, right? It's
Yeah.
here we are, we're getting it. It's very different, but it's
Yeah.
also very similar.
You're right. They made
it's
this
close
first
enough.
season. Somebody who read the whole series and said, "How do I turn this series into a TV series?" said, "Well, we would tell the story like this." And the sacrifice they had to make was, we're not going to tell the story of the first book.
But I mean, the thing is, if
Yeah.
you had it step by step, like Ken was saying, the same exact thing, if everything was the same and then all of a sudden they switched it, you would go, what the fuck? That's not how they do
Well,
it.
why did they leave
And
out the
then
dark friend with the
why
burning
did they
blade?
do this?
And
Why'd they do that? And it would be so exact that everyone would be losing their minds. You
Yeah.
have to change it up.
and they're too long to do them step by step.
Exactly. You have to switch it.
You absolutely cannot do these books as they're written
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
show. You can't.
Well, and
would
like
never
work.
I really think the style of the TV show does fit the series better.
I think
Yeah.
so.
But the tone of the first book is a lot different than the tone of the
The
series
rest of
as
the
a whole.
series,
It is,
yes.
but-
yeah. Yeah.
And so
But,
that's the
I
weird.
mean-
The weird part is like I just read that book and then turned on the show and I was like, what?
It's definitely different that way, but you do
Yeah.
not have to know the books to know this, and so
No, not
I
at all.
mean, at all. Where it's still, but the I read that Brandon Sanderson like saw the first couple episodes, and at first he was like, "Why the heck did they do this, this, and this?"
That's right.
And then
Yeah.
after he watched up until what we have watched or whatever, he was like, you know what, I kind of get that they did it this way, and I think it actually makes more sense to do it this way. Like he was pissed at first, and then after watching more, he was like, you know, I kind of get it, because otherwise this would be wrong or this wouldn't work, or, you know.
Yeah.
And once I
Yeah.
read that, I was like, it's like once you have the approval of him, you're like, okay, I can watch it too. I get it.
He's
Yeah.
the steward. He's the content steward.
Yeah, he's the one who you're like, okay, if he's okay with it, I can be okay with it.
Well,
so
if he can write the Stormlight Archive, I'll ride with Brandon
you'll
anywhere.
allow this.
Well, and you gotta. Hey,
Kaladin.
my boy P. Jackson cut 50% out of the Fellowship of the Ring,
Right?
and that movie is a masterpiece.
Yeah, but it's different. He cut stuff out, but told the same story. This is like
I think
you're
this is telling
using the
the same
characters
story.
to tell. Yeah, but none of the same things happen.
Yes, but they're still getting from A to B.
This is step one, right?
Right.
This is
I
just a way
I want to see
longer
where the
story.
season ends to see what B is.
I think I
Let
know
me put
exactly
it this way:
how it's gonna end.
if they were going to make a Lord of the Rings show,
Which they are. They spent like $1 billion. on
well,
it.
it's
Which
like
I'm
a prequel though, or some
Already
nonsense
like
or
I don't know
something.
about that.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to
But-
be like Shadow of Mordor, the TV show, I bet.
But so in the first 6 episodes, we skip past whatever that thing is where Sam's in the house. We skip past Bombadil.
Yeah.
We skip past his wife. We skip past the Burrows. We skip past you would be just as lost. You'd be
Yeah.
just it's a different story. It's not though. We'll get there. We'll get there.
I think like in a season or two, you'll be like, we're still at the same like.
But it's
You
like,
know.
okay, what's the capital city of Gondor? In
I
Lord of the
don't know.
Rings.
Drawing a blank.
The-
The White City?
the
Whatever it
White
is?
City. What's it
I
called?
don't know. I can't remember. Something
You know,
with a
but
G.
it's like if instead of meeting Elrond in Rivendell, they met Elrond there. And you're like, well, yeah, they get there later in the books.
But does it
That's
matter?
not how it happened.
Yeah, but the overall story at the end, it wouldn't have mattered.
Exactly. I'm saying
It's
it
the
could.
same
I'm never.
way.
I'm not saying it doesn't make a great TV show. I'm just saying it's very weird as a book reader how
Like, yeah.
different it is.
Well, maybe you
But-
should stop reading books. Have you ever thought of
Yeah,
that?
you big
I
dork.
saw a meme the other day that was like, "There's two kind of show watchers," and one was like, whatever, and the other one was like, "I only watch the show to point out how it's different than the books and
Right.
get pissed."
Get
Right.
angry immediately.
There you go.
I enjoy all those memes though, being like, it's like John Travolta like in one of the cities being like, what the fuck? Like from
Yeah.
We're in
From Pulp
Tarvalin
Fiction.
already.
Yeah.
How are we
from
here?
from Pulp Fiction being like, huh? Like because they don't know how they're there already.
Yes,
So stupid.
exactly. That's how I feel.
But you
then
can't
again, like,
look
we
at
get
it
to
from
spend-
that perspective.
You're getting information early in some cases, and you're getting
Hmm.
That's true.
places. You're getting some places too fast, air quotes, too fast.
Yeah.
So I think you can. I think they're just moving pieces around.
It
I
wouldn't
think
make
you'll
sense
get-
to do it the other way.
A lot of it, like,
Yeah.
because I read however many books, 3 or 4, and I don't. Now again, I don't remember many things very well. I don't remember anything ever, and I don't remember any of this Moraine and the what's her
Soon
name?
Sanche,
Yeah,
the Amerlin seat.
but here I get a
Flame of
full
Tarvalin?
I get a
Yikes,
full
come on.
episode of it, and it sets the tone for Moraine and what she's doing
Mhm.
early on. I don't have to wait 6 books to get the
Yeah.
reveal.
Yeah, I don't know when you find out that like Suin and Moraine are friends. It's definitely not in the first book.
By the way,
'cause-
Pillow Friends is
Yeah,
a
friends.
horrendous name. Pillow Friends.
right, it's
is
all
what they
very
call them.
vague in the books.
It's not vague
Pillow
at
Friends.
all. It's poorly written around. Anyway,
It's just
It's the same as being
it's
like
disguised poorly.
it's yeah.
it's a
This is my
different
friend. She's a
time back
ghost. As you cast a white sheet over someone.
then. And you're like, okay, the last
right.
thing we do have
All
to do
right,
though
sorry,
is would
sorry.
you rather.
we are
right,
we are
mine's
running out
ready.
of time,
I
but
got it
let's
ready.
not
running out of time.
forget.
There's literally no like we could go for 8 hours if we wanted.
I like to pretend there's
Let's
a
go for
time
8.
limit that we're being
but
held
then you
to.
always
Let's go for
panic.
8.
Like calm down.
I'm a panicky guy.
I
That's
know.
what I do.
As soon as we try to set up like the camera, Ben like loses his mind.
Every time.
Like we're like, does this work?
What's
for
there to
the...
panic about?
Thank you.
Everything in my life.
That's all. Yeah, flips the table. No, you
right.
haven't done that yet. But okay, Ben, do you have a would you rather?
Would you rather? Maybe this one's not so much for Emily.
Great.
Whoa.
But I didn't know what I would answer to
Be
this.
loyal or
Loyal from the
Sleep with
TV
Loyal.
show, or have
Oh
to
my
sleep with
God.
Loyal from the books.
Sleep
Would
with
you
Loyal from the books.
would you rather be Moraine or Suin Sanche? Would you rather
What
see
is
a
the thing?
relationship between Moraine and Suin, or Elida and
I don't know
is this
who
your
that
real
is.
one now? You've
Are you
said
just
them
you're
so
just
many.
shooting
making
these off the
stupid
top of the
stuff up.
dome?
and Margaze?
What is your real thing?
Where's Gareth Bryn if we meet Suin Sanche? That's what I want to know. She bonds Gareth, right?
Ben.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Here's the thing. Would you rather
Okay.
have
Yeah.
every year you can take a vacation with your family wherever you want?
Wow.
It's
For how
paid
long?
vacation. It's like a week, let's say.
Okay.
Okay. All
Or
right. Big
Or
offer.
you can have
Paid
for free.
vacation.
You can have for free. Someone come to your house, a company, and build you a home gym that can be decked out as much as you want.
that's the dumbest would you
It's the
rather I've ever
vacations.
heard.
Even as a
Yeah.
home gym fanatic, it's the vacations.
I kind of
Let me
want like a
guess,
facility
Ben,
built
you
at my
kind-
house.
Oh, really? You kind of want that? I wouldn't
I
have
don't
guessed
know.
that.
Sweetheart, maybe I could talk
You?
you into like
Another build, like an out, like a heated
a pole
building
barn.
Gosh, that's
Is
what
what
you
you
would
think.
want?
that my friends come over to, and that we all work out.
Oh, do you want
Is
me
this
to
a
would
question-
you rather like go shy? What the fuck is this?
This is not a question, would you rather at all. He has come into a sum of money and he would like to use it to build a pole barn.
Like, this is the dumbest would you rather you've ever come up with.
I just thought, like, what would be a hard question for me to answer? And
That's
because
a
I
hard
also
question
would
for
love to
you?
take vacations every year with my family.
Let me give
First of
you
all,
a,
you're never going to
yeah.
pull bar now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, you blew it, pal. You're just supposed to build it. You're supposed to send her
Dumbo.
on the vacation, and when she gets back, I don't know, they already poured the cement.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I was just talking to them and they started working. Like, I guess I got to pay
The
them now.
fact that you just
I
picked
signed some
you
paperwork.
over
I don't
anyone
know if
else
it's
is
binding.
like.
I didn't say I picked the gym. That was the would you rather.
Okay, Ben, what would you pick?
It was a hard. Well, I know what I'm picking now. It's vacations, I guess. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's
All right.
anyway, yeah. Ken,
Would you rather have a nose that glows like Rudolph's or have pointy ears like an elf and not like Loyal? Because
like
fuck
24/7.
24/7, just work. You got to go to work. Got to go to the grocery store.
Oh wait, my pointy ears are just like an elf.
Yeah, they're about 6 inches long each
Oh
side.
shit, that's like
The
big
nose
time.
is golf ball
Or a
size.
glowing
It
nose.
lights up.
I'll take the ears.
I'll take the ears as well.
I would take ears.
First of all, as a girl, I could just have long hair and it wouldn't be a big deal.
How about this? Here's my actual would you rather.
But some people probably think it's like cool too. I'm gonna say that.
Would you rather have your normal nose that you have now, but it glows on the end like Rudolph?
You can't like.
Or would you rather
have
have-
peanut butter beer?
no a
What?
clown, like a clown nose? It doesn't glow. It's a but you can't take it off.
Ben, go go home. Like you need to leave. What are you
What?
talking
It's like,
about?
do you want a bright glowing red light in your face when you're trying to sleep,
No,
or do you
that's
want a
fair.
clown nose?
I think that's fair. Do you have to look around a foam nose? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Or
want
does
a
this
big
one
foam
just-
nose
does
you
this-
can't
It
take
lights
off,
up 24/7.
or it lights up 24/7?
Or does it like light up when you're
like
like
happy or
lying,
something.
like Pinocchio?
When Santa needs you to see
Right.
something?
Like when Santa's trying to teach you a
When
lesson.
Santa
It lights
Right.
up.
needs you to see.
Then and only then does it a
Or
light.
it's like.
I'll take the light up one.
And it's like
I'll take the
glowing.
regular nose.
It
light
only
up.
glows if you're lying.
That's fine.
I enjoy it as if it's like.
It only glows
Yeah,
if
or
you're
it
gonna
definitely
grump.
hums.
Emily
It
should never
hums.
shut off.
It hums.
Yeah, it hums.
It puts off heat too.
It's
or
like a
whatever that's
halogen
worth.
or whatever.
Right.
I'll take the glowing one over that stupid
course you
clown
would.
noise.
Definitely. It
Probably
definitely-
shine it
yeah,
in my
what is
face
that?
all night while I'm trying
Shine
to
your
sleep.
shine your
Is that
face while you're trying to
halogen
build
where-
your pole barn.
It takes a minute to like get brighter and hotter, right? Like in your garage. Yeah, and it hums for sure.
Where like when you first turn on, you're like, that's disappointing. But like
Otherwise,
after a
you just
minute or
have
two,
this-
yeah,
You just have the Roscoe the Clown on all the time.
that's stupid.
I'll
No,
take the Hummer.
the Roscoe the Clown one only appears when you're laughing.
No,
That's
no,
stupid,
no. This is over.
All right.
This is out of
All right,
control.
I'm just kidding. What's yours,
Wait,
Emily?
what was Ken? You're supposed to Rudolph?
And the pointy
Yeah, I got-
ears.
Oh,
We
the
all
ears.
wanted
You
pointy
want
ears.
another one?
Okay,
You want
I couldn't
another one?
remember. Okay. Well, Ben's been like tricking us into
That's
other
true.
ones. So
That's true.
mine is: Would you rather?
Would you rather have Loyal carry you to bed at night?
Okay. Or
or Rand? What do you like? What are you
I don't know.
saying? Okay. Would you rather have to hunt? I'm gonna say hunt and like pick everything that you have to eat, like a farm, like either hunt
Okay.
or farm it, or you can only eat McDonald's.
Hunt and gather.
You'd rather hunt,
Hunt
and
Like
gather?
the Liver King.
Yeah, I hate to say it because I'm a very lazy person. I cannot eat McDonald's every meal.
Okay, I thought you were gonna
can't
be
do
like,
it.
I cannot hunt and gather.
No, you have pained me greatly to make me answer this.
I agree though. There's after about like 2 days of McDonald's, I go, well,
No.
fuck this, right?
No.
I can't do
Done.
this. Yeah.
No.
I
Don't you
couldn't-
want to like get in tune with our ancestors? You want to have your bare feet on the ground. You want to be eating
I feel like that's
nose
my
to
normal
tail,
day.
tail to nose. You want to I'm trying to recite all the stupid Liver King things that
That's
he always
stupid.
says.
I feel like on my normal day though, I'm like, I want just from a garden.
Right.
this and
I'm
that.
trying
So-
to get there on a daily basis
Yeah.
anyway. So
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to move towards like
And obviously it
God,
would
I'm
suck
just trying
to
to
be like, I
find
have to
some
hunt
fast food.
and this
Just
and that, but boy, it'd be so much better than McDonald's. We had just pizza from Pizza Sam's from a place in town yesterday.
Yeah, yeah.
And then for hours we both were like, what the
I can't do
like,
it. It's like
I
sick.
had one piece of pizza and I was like, I can't anymore. I can't do it. So McDonald's, I'd be done after a day or two.
There
Yeah.
you go. Title of the episode: The Liver King.
No,
Is that what's the liver?
it's called
King?
Ben Goes Insane.
Oh, look it up. It's an Instagram account. Liver
Don't
King.
look it
No, I'm
up.
not gonna. If
It's
you had
not
said
like
if you had said documentary, I might have explored it.
guy who
It's
looks
an Instagram
disgusting.
account. No, thank you.
yeah. Just check it out.
No, I'll stick to my lawyer memes and
Where's the loyal king? Okay.
Little
Yeah.
Loyal King. All right. I think that's it for today. We didn't talk about video games. It is video game season. We have a huge list of video games, but like I said
We
at the
can do
beginning
that.
of the show, we have lots. We had so much to talk about. This is already a long show, and we can talk about video games next time. We got Halo Infinite, we got Warzone, we got Rainbow Six Siege, we got It Takes Two. We'll get into that
we
stuff
can
later.
do like a mini video game one.
ooh,
Yeah.
that
Of
might
just
be
you
fun.
guys or
A one time
yeah,
a
we
year.
should do that.
It is
Yeah.
video game season. That'd be fun.
Go check out the Board Vengers live stream that we'll
Yes.
have up where we talk about our 2021 Game of the Year. And
Well-
look for us next week when we'll live stream the Day Night D list. We're going to talk about the Green Lantern.
Are we doing the Green Lantern?
I think we're
Like,
doing the
for
Green. This
sure?
is a Ryan,
Unless-
Ryan Reynolds themed
Yeah,
Like,
friend of
nobody
the
can
show.
say his
friend of
name.
the show, Ryan Reynolds.
Should we have him on for the
We'll
D
have
list?
Ryan Reynolds on
We'll see
to
if we
talk
can
to
get
us
him.
about
We'll see if
what
we
he
can get
did
Guys,
different
who do
in
I
Deadpool
message
from the
to
Green
get him?
Lantern.
I feel like he would do it.
I think he
Well,
would
we'll
do
get him
it.
on here.
Doesn't
guys
he
should
seem like
actually-
someone who
He would do it.
right? He
He
seems
would
like
do
someone
it.
that go, I also disagree with all of this.
At the very least, I think
Okay,
you
guys,
would
I'm gonna work
probably
on
get a
Ryan Reynolds.
response. I think you would get some feedback.
Whoa, you're gonna get Ryan Reynolds on. All right, we're watching the Green
First of all,
Lantern,
if
not
you
the Green
guys-
Hornet.
No.
What's the
What's
Green
his
Hornet?
what's his
don't
gin what's his gin name? Aviation?
mean?
Aviator?
Oh, we should drink that while we
then
watch it.
Then he'll have no choice.
Okay.
Which,
Well,
by the
that's
way,
true.
in Red Notice, I think there's a
Is there an ad?
very tongue-in-cheek ad for his gin and The Rock's tequila.
And Terramana tequila.
Yeah, I think if
Oh,
I remember
God.
correctly, where they're like, "Man, it's pretty good." they
Oh,
like
no. Okay, guys, I need a message. If anybody knows Ryan Reynolds and would like to help me out, please send me a
Yeah.
message.
Speaking of contacting us, if you want to talk to us, if you want to send us a question, if you just want to send us a comment, you can either DM us on Instagram at Date Night Dice or send an email to benmdatenightdice@gmail.com. And that's it for this show. So until next time, from everybody here at the Date Night Dice podcast, you guys have a wonderful evening.
Bye.